Give it a second. We got Eric, though.
All right. Welcome back to Smallmouth Crush Live. I am your host, 12-Pound Tom. We are going to break it all down for you today. That's right. Who do we got here? We got, to my right, we got JP the Hammer joining us. I believe you absolutely crushed it day one down there in the James River. We're going to talk more about that. To my left, or your left, I'm not quite sure. I'm on my first high noon.
That was a boneless wing, folks.
That's right. What's up, E?
What's going on, man? Good to see you guys again, man. I really had fun hanging out with you guys pre-tournament at the James. JP, great to meet you in person. Tom, haven't spent a lot of time with you in person. It was fantastic. Wish Gary was on. You guys are solid. That was just fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Eric, I got to tell you, like, you are a master when it comes to baits. You demonstrated that out at the James. I just felt like I was the short stick because you weren't in the back of my boat as I was practicing. And there's no doubt somebody had a competitive advantage over the rest of us by having you in the boat. So it was good to see you and good to hang out with you too.
Well, I hope you guys got to use a few of those Jimmy Big Time baits and just baits overall that I donated. So I think Gary might have had a couple on it, so that was a good thing, man. I'm glad you guys tried them out. So, JP, you went with the big bite, right? I mean, I don't want to jump right into the James, but
yeah. Man, I'm
more on that later, I guess.
I'm wearing a pure white t-shirt, and that's my sign of I give up.
Oh, geez.
I surrender,
man. I surrender, baby.
You know, there's no shame in going big or going home. You knew you had big bites potentially. You were looking for 5 a day. I don't know if you got them, but hey, I take my hat off to anybody that can be disciplined enough to keep a big bait in their hand. You know what I mean? For a big bite. Not easy to do.
Hey, E, I don't know if you happen to read the wire, but it sounded like there was a big bait in hand to the winner of this thing.
How about that, man? You know, I wondered if the dam would play, and yeah, there was. I guess they were running current coming out of the pond up top, right, the lake, and that current created a situation. And what he dunked the big bait in. I don't know if it was a glide or a mag draft or what he had in his hand, but I guess those pre and post spawn fish responded nicely for that giant day 2 bag, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I can't wait till he shows up on Bass U. If he shows us what he was really throwing, that's going to be fascinating to me, right? So
I'll tell you, I saw some photos and
like a 6-inch to 8-inch bait.
You know it.
Soft bait, or hard bait?
Soft.
So it's probably a mag
Soft
draft. That's my guess, or it might be an osprey or one of the older ones. But we'll see what he says. So I can't wait for him to be on.
We hold it like this.
Who's this guy? Who's this guy trying to take over my show? Who's this cat?
Well, first of all, listen, Rick from Monster Bass is going to be joining us real quick to kind of run through some things. I neglected to notify him of the situation tonight. We got BTC Bradley Hallman coming on.
Wow.
And we got Jimmy Houston, OT, and Zell Rowland over here.
Zell Rowland.
Roland Martin. Sorry, Zell.
Wait a second. You get the big Jimmy Houston on and Roland Martin, and you butcher this? This is going to go down. This is good.
Hey, we put him in the back of the boat today.
Where is Jimmy? Is he taking a nap?
No, he's still fishing, you guys. He didn't want to come in.
No kidding.
I don't blame him. If I was catching 5 25-pound bags, I'd have stayed right out on the water too.
And we ended up with bed and fish. Travis was like a hawk today. And then we teamed up on a couple of them, which was pretty spectacular. I caught the first bedding fish. I didn't see it. I just made a blind cast down a bank that looked like it could have some bedders and hooked up. So we got clued in, and then Travis just started spotting them. There's one. Go get him, Jim. There's another. Go get him. Roll and get him. That was awesome, man. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. You'll see.
It's going to be some really good footage.
Oh, I think you shot.
We need a bigger, wider angle here.
You shot how many shows today?
Yeah, we filmed like 3 episodes.
3 episodes, I think, right?
Yeah.
You know, all the ways to fish a Senko. I mean, we did
different ways to fish a Senko. So we Carolina rigged, Wacky, Texas. Nico,
drop shot,
Drop
tiny
shot.
tiny child rig. It's a Nico. It's a weedless Nico essentially, and I'll go over that. And then a split shot rig. Was it Finesse Carolina?
Hey, where's Gary, by the way?
Yeah. Can they hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us.
Yeah,
Listen,
Gary's
guys,
the
we have to
hammer.
get ready and focus for Oneida, okay? Of course, Gary did well. He took a top 20 at the last Opens, which is
That's awesome. It's a great start to the year, right? Puts
Yeah.
him in contention for points champion.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I'm out. I won't be fishing the elites next year.
How do you know
There's
you're out?
there's no way I
Well, if you win an Open, you're automatically in.
no.
Oh,
You
that's
go
a
to the
classic
classic. So, JP, Tom, Nee, and myself will just be a bunch of regular chumps next season. But Gary's got a shot.
We're frozen.
No, we're not frozen.
We are frozen.
We're fine.
No,
Now we're back.
you're good now, E.
So,
Hey, listen, I just want you to know that I'm cool being a regular chump.
I know.
Me too.
I would love to fish the Bassmaster Classic, so I
I
gotta
know.
find a way to dig up a win somewhere here. JP, what do you
Will.
say? You win Oneida, I win Thousand Islands, we make it all happen.
Sounds
Yeah.
great.
So we got Captain Will over
Captain Will, OT Fears from
OT.
Oklahoma.
there. What's up, OT?
Won an All-American, folks. There's not many people in the country who've won an All-American. OT Fears, man. I followed him when I was a kid. One of my childhood heroes coming up, reading Bassmaster magazine. Down the line, you got Roland Mark
There's
as well.
Roland over there.
And Jimmy Houston, if we can ever retrieve him from the water.
He's too busy eating his salad.
That's right.
Hey, what's
Dude.
up, Roland? How the
Roland,
mashed
Roland,
potatoes?
say hi real quick.
Roland.
Say hi real quick.
There he is. What's happening, Roland?
We killed him.
We got him today. This man here was responsible. Will Clute. He is the number one guy in the whole world.
Hey, you heard it here first. Smallmouth Crush Live. Will's the number one guide in the whole world.
The whole world.
Whole world.
That's awesome, man.
I guess so.
That's pretty cool. You guys got to fish with some legends.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
man. I mean, just I
OT,
don't
are
even know
you
what to say.
are you still throwing the red kicker blade? Yes, yes.
More on that later.
Oh man.
Man, that's awesome.
Well, crazy.
I guess we got to pay the check.
Yeah, we're gonna pay the check. We're gonna
I'm gonna pay the check.
Oh, thank you.
I got you. My treat, Savage.
And then we're going to head on over to Gajo World headquarters and get into it. We got Bradley Hallman coming up, BTC,
New baits to talk about at Will's. Right.
all kinds of stuff.
Tomorrow we're gonna unleash the beast. Gajo.
Hounds of hell, baby.
Caught a few on it today.
JP, I like that white T-shirt, man. That's a good look
Yeah,
for you.
Looking
The
crisp.
white T-shirt is my white flag. I'm waving it. I concede to the James River.
Oh, jeez.
Man,
Oh,
that
dude.
title. That
I
title
concede
can
to the
brutalize.
James.
In case you guys are wondering, I suck pretty bad at the James. Yeah, I took an 89th there. I didn't even get paid. Good position day one, top 20 or whatever it was. And then I brought in 5 fish for 7 pounds on day 2 just because I couldn't make adjustments. And I don't know. I got no excuse except I sucked. So,
Well, Travis, I mean, there's probably a few more excuses other than that.
I don't know.
Well, what would you do differently? I mean,
I
how
would
you-
stay. I would have stayed in my Cypress zone. Let me give you a couple key things that are going to happen here for like in the video for the tournament. So day one, you're going to see a boat pull up on my first spot. He was 50 to 60 yards away from me. I got stuff in my face. Anyways,
You're
dude
good.
pulls right up on me, comes right at me and goes, "Oh, am I in your way?" And then he buzzes my boat by a foot around the whole edge and gets everything just muddied up, and it messed with my head to set the tone for the tournament.
Wow, what did you do to that guy?
I didn't do anything. I just kept fishing, man. I got him on video. I said, listen, do you want to defend yourself now or on my YouTube channel in the future?
You didn't say
for
that.
that move.
You didn't say that.
I should have said that. But
all right, so listen, I think we could probably share with some of the viewers the good things that happened, what we figured out, what we didn't figure out, what we were late to the game on.
Yes.
I think it would be helpful for them to figure, at least hear from you, hear from JP, hear from Gary, should he ever decide.
Okay.
Gary's probably counting his cash right now and forgot all about showing up to this.
Oh, yeah. All right, here's a crew over here. We got the man in the house here.
Yeah, we got Jimmy. Look at that.
Man, that dude fished hard today. Totally fished hard today.
Man.
Well, he's had a lot going on lately. He was probably real happy to lean into a few good ones.
Yeah. Man.
Dude, what's it take to get out with that crew?
I don't know. So
how'd you tee that up?
I don't know. So 12-pound Tom Nee had 12 pounds 1 ounce on day one, just so you know. So that was really cool.
It
was great.
Yeah.
Epic E did pick up the check.
That's cool. Yeah, man, 12 pounds 1 ounce. Like, who could have? I mean, the story could have been better if I didn't have that ounce, right?
I hear you. Man.
I'll tell you, and if I would have had that extra 12 pounds on day 2, I probably would have got paid.
You would have got a check.
Yes. Man, it was crazy. They're trying to make a game plan what to do tomorrow. So there's a bunch of largemouth locked on beds, big ones. Will lost an 8 today. And then we got so many smallmouth. It's crazy.
Listen, there were fish on beds on the James River, and I got to tell you, I caught one off a bed. I weighed one in off of a bed. We saw several more on beds.
Yeah. Oh man.
And it was really weird. So on the James, what I found was really weird, and I don't know if you saw any on beds or caught any on beds, but they looked a lot smaller in the water than when they got out of the water. So where I thought it was like a 12-inch keeper on a bed, like a buck.
Yeah.
You catch that fish, and that thing's like 2 1/4. That's a really helpful fish on the James River.
Oh, you thought they were smaller than what they were?
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, they turned out to be a lot bigger out of the water, which, kind of got into my head. I'm like, man, I passed over a lot of small fish on beds.
Wow.
Well, you also thought that the inch limit was 15 for like the whole practice.
Who has time to read all those rules?
Ain't that the truth? Waves kind of nice. I'll ask Will what your bag of gajos is from the last auction when we were up here. He should have had that.
I got my bag yesterday, so they're in the mail.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Will.
Good. Yeah. Craziness.
So I'm going to break down pretty much how my practice went real quick. And
because you had a good JP, you did pretty good.
I'll tell you guys, I early in practice, I had a flipping bite on cypress trees develop. I was getting a ton of bites, not setting the hook a lot. But when I did set the hook, a lot of the fish, they were 2 pound or less with the occasional 3 to 4 pound fish, right? And after 2 days of exploring that, I said, well, if that holds up, I'll be able to get a limit, no problem. I thought the tournament was going to be a catch fest, right? So going into the 3rd day of practice, I decided that it was kind of warming up, and we were having some sunny conditions, and I was gonna break out the frog. And I went to the pad flats, and man, I got to tell you, I had some very big fish, and I caught a couple good ones, but a lot of the fish were blowing up behind the frog on the edge, exposing themselves. I had a 7 pounder. You guys heard about it all week. I had him in this
We did.
this weed patch. I found him on Wednesday or Thursday. So of course, the first day of the tournament, I run all the way up there. It was way up the Chickahominy River, and man, I was using a buzz frog, and I'm buzzing it across the pads, and it was the exact same clump, the exact same stalk, and 8 inches behind the bait. It came up like, you know, that game at Chuck E. Cheese where you got to hit the mole. It came up and went straight back down. I mean, its head was this big, you know.
I believe him, man. He talked about that fish all week.
I believe the fish was on a bed. On Wednesday, when I found the fish, I was able to flip a bait in with no hook, and the fish did take it and swim around with it. Unfortunately, in the tournament, I spent 25 to 30 minutes repetitively flipping to that patch and was unable to catch the fish. I was able to get a limit on the frog the first day of the tournament for just under 12 pounds. Honestly, my goal weight was 12 pounds because previously going down to the James River, 12 pounds at least gets you good points.
Sure.
So what are you saying? I was like
you
born
paid,
for
right?
this tournament?
Yeah. I was born for the tournament. And I knew the potential was there for me to get a really big bag if everything lined up perfectly. And of course, just like most tournaments, it didn't, right? I did have some blow-ups that I regret, but they never ate it. They were blowing up behind it. I don't know if it was a lot of the fish were post-spawn and they were just aggravated and garden fry and didn't want to really commit to it. Because on the second day, I went back up to them pad fields and I was only able to get one fish, but the water had cleaned up. And I don't know how many times I would reel that frog to the edge of the pads and I would see a bass swimming underneath the pads coming out towards the channel, right? And I'd flip a Senko or a beaver or anything I could flip in there to try to get that fish to react to a different type of bait. And it just wasn't happening. And the other pattern that I did develop was a wing dam pattern. And it was down towards Upper James in the Osborne area. And I got to tell you, I had a short day the second day. We had an hour fog delay. So what would have been 5 hours to fish was really about 4.5 after you take the run into effect. And with like an hour and a half up there and only catching one fish and seeing them fish not reacting, I felt like I had to run back down to the wing dams and try to get a limit. And I ran all the way back down there. And man, I got to tell you, everybody developed that pattern, boys. There was a boat on every wing dam. Some of them had 2.
Everyone.
Wow.
So I'm going down these wing dams, man. And I ran into Travis on one of them, and I had just started fishing that row. There was probably 8 wing dams there. And, you know, Travis had a better day than me the first day. I knew I really wasn't in the tournament anymore. And I just said, hey, you know what, bud? You take these 8 wing dams. I'm going to go find something else, you know. We're supposed to work as a team. I felt like that was a good decision on my part. So I left that area, and my co-angler's name was Daryl, and he was a local. And he said, hey, man, listen, I got a spot where you could probably get a fish. He said, head back into the barge pits, you know.
There you go.
So we run down into the canal leading into the barge pits, and I'm thinking we're going to go back into the pits, you know. And he goes, no, slow down here. You know, you got this bank right here, and you're going to see like a sandy shoreline. And there's a couple of cobbles in this one area. And he said, if you flip a jig up in there, you know, I've had success in here in the past. Well, wouldn't you know it, man? I pull up there, I see the cobbles, I flip a jig over there, bang, I catch a 4-pounder, right?
Oh, wow.
So I turn around and I go, Daryl, do you have any more spots like this? You know, like that's a good fish. And if I could just get 3 more fish and fill my limit out and get 14 pounds, I think I can get paid, you know? And he had one other spot I went to. I was able to get a 12-inch fish. He was a great guy. And the frog that I was throwing was a scum frog, and it's got the paddle tails. And to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the frog, but I like it at the James River in those pads because the pads are really big. And when the tide goes down and the vines of the pads are laying on the top of the water, if you hold your rod tip high and you reel it really slow, those legs will actually help that frog get over those pads. And that is not the frog that I prefer to throw anywhere else.
Really? Right? Okay.
No, it isn't.
very specific for pads. Did you try
Yes.
to mix in a swim jig at all?
I did throw a swim jig in practice. That's actually how I found that 7-pound fish, was a swim jig.
Okay.
That was the only fish that I had to try to strike a swim jig. But I will say there was a lot of people
in here.
throwing swim jigs, and
Mostly white swim
Oh,
jigs.
hold on.
white, yes.
Okay.
I was going to ask you a question.
Yes.
What's up, Roland?
Today, we caught a lot of smallmouth. A lot of them were on beds.
Yes.
Did you notice that a lot of them had been caught before?
From Will? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's Will or whoever caught them. Will probably caught them.
Who did what?
Well, today we caught fish, up there at the rapids and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of those fish have been caught before. I could see them in the mouth,
There's probably a few, because they're still moving in, so we probably caught them downriver. And then they're further upward.
So they keep.
Because this was the first day we moved upward.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
but Roland busted
Hey,
them up
Roland,
today.
the good news is they practice catch and release on the reservation,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
right?
In fact,
That's
we
good.
talked to some of the locals, and I think most everyone here is kind of practicing catch and release for the most part. And I think a lot of that's because of Will Clute. He's really advocating catch and we all advocate catch and release. That's what keeps the spawning fish a viable deal. If everybody caught spawning fish like we caught them today and kept them, it would be over with.
Sure.
The whole population would crash.
So we started the day making the video. We wanted to catch 60 smallmouth in an hour. So that's one fish a minute. And we
Well, almost did.
got it pretty close.
It's close.
We did it. We were very close. And we had triples. We had some good fish.
We had triples about 4 times. Maybe.
Yeah.
3 or 4 times.
It was fun.
I think one of the neatest things was a couple times we caught, and Travis would catch them, I'd catch them, and what's the name?
Epic Air?
Yeah, Eric. Eric, by the way, I have a grandson named Eric. That's the one. So many of the fish were like we thought were 6 pounds.
Right.
We looked at them and said, "That's got to be a 6-pound fish. It's got to be a 6-pound. Yeah, that's a 6-pound fish. I know it's a 6-pound fish." Well, we threw a couple of them back like that. We knew were 6-pound fish. But finally, we said, "We're going to have to weigh them." And you had a good scale. You had a good Rapala scale, and I had a good Berkeley scale.
Yep.
And I said, "I know it's 6 pounds. I know it's 6 pounds." And yours
I
said
thought it was too.
5.3 or 5.4.
Yes.
And I put it on my scale. It was 5.3 or 5.4. So it was 5.3 or 5.4.
They had the bodies of a 6 pound.
Yeah, but they weren't 6 pounds.
Yeah.
But it's so easy
right.
to say that they're 6 pounds. And I'd say 90% of all the fishermen that would have fished there today would have said, "Hey, we caught several."
Well,
No,
But we came close.
we did. And then we did a little largemouth fishing, a little sight fishing. That was fun. And you like these
So,
northern
Hey,
largemouth.
I tell you, that Travis here, he's a sight fisherman. He would say, "Roland, there's one right there. I want you to catch it." I'd look, and I'd kind of see the bed, and I kind of halfway see the fish. See it right there? Yeah. Well, I'd finally kind of key into it. You got to remember, I'm an old man now. I can't see like I did. I used to run a rifle range in the military years ago, 30, 40 years ago, and I had exquisite eyesight, probably as good as Travis is now. But then I was his age then, and now I'm an old guy. So I can't see him as good as I did. But
It's all right.
But I still see him a little bit.
Yeah,
I
you
still
did
caught
good.
him.
You caught them.
And I did the little pitch cast.
Yes.
The pitch cast is the deal. Real low, little pitch into the spot.
What
Kinda
were you
popped the fish
casting?
a couple times?
Yeah. What were
Give
you
us the
fishing?
dates,
I want to
Roland.
know.
Well, mainly little Cincos. Little
Yep.
small.
What color?
4 and 5 inch Cincos.
What color?
Anything will work. Any color will work as long as it's a 297 green pumpkin. That's the whole deal. That's it.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's
All right.
a
So
true story.
what was the rod, reel, and line setup?
A minute? It varied a little bit.
Mainly we use spinning tackle,
We did.
and
Braid.
we used a 10 to 20 pound braid
Yep. To a
with
fluorocarbon.
10
leader.
to 12 pound fluorocarbon leader,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
little little Ned rigs and little small little 3/0 EWG hooks and little 4-inch
Yep.
Senkos and stuff.
We did a video on how to different ways to fish a Senko. So you were on the Carolina rig kick for a little bit. You got one.
Carolina rig. I was a regular Senko, regular
Yep.
Texas rig.
Texas rig.
You were doing the wacky rig.
Wacky.
And you did the Ned rig. No.
And I fished it as a Ned.
And then
Eric was doing the Nico,
and he also did that child rig. Or
I don't even know. He don't.
I don't know what that guy.
It don't matter. He makes shit up. He makes shit up, and then.
But
Hey, Roland, I got a
7 or 8
question. Listen, the viewers want to know: have you ever drank a White Claw?
I'm sorry.
Have you ever drank the White Claw?
What's that?
It's like it's a seltzer alcohol. No, he's a whiskey guy.
Okay.
I'm Captain Morgan and Diet Coke. That's what I'm.
Real man's drink. I like White Claw. They pick on me because it's kind of a drink for, girls on the boats in the summertime in July.
So did you guys, and don't disclose it, but did you try the JP rig?
The JP rig.
What's that?
I don't know. What's that? Oh, we'll talk after. There's a Senko. You don't want me to say it on the air, right?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you about it.
But try it tomorrow.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he knows a little bit about that.
Oh, Okeechobee, yeah, he does.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, we had a good day today. It was really an epic day.
It really was.
Yeah, epic, Eric.
You've been up here a lot, though. I mean, you've experienced it.
I've fished a lot of BASS tournaments up here and won a couple of them. Yeah, I've done good on the St. Lawrence River.
Sure.
But then I've also fished at Pan American.
That's right, last year, right?
A year and a half ago.
Okay.
My son Scott and I, we came in second. So
nice.
It was good. And Latimer and the other guy.
Yeah.
They were our teammates, and we put them on the fish.
Did you?
Yeah, we did. I mean, well.
Deep dropping or?
Well, no, we were. That was actually Will. Will Clute had told Scott and I where the fish were.
Okay.
And then when Brian Latimer and it was the other guy.
I can't think of his name.
Mark
Daniels.
Daniels. They were kind of struggling. They said, "Okay, we're all in a team. This is all a big team deal."
Yep.
We had 10 American teams.
Sure.
And we had 10 Canadian teams, and there were Mexican teams, there were all kind of teams. And so we were all trying to help each other out.
Right.
And so we got Mark and Brian back in our area, and they won the tournament.
Wow.
But we came in second.
Right.
Hey, our 10, Scott and I's 10, I think weighed 46 pounds. And I think Latimer's and Daniel's team weighed 47 pounds.
Dude, that's respectable bag.
10 fish.
Yeah.
That's about kind of what we had today.
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's really nice to see you're able to work together as a team.
Oh, yeah. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Working together. And that's what we kind of did on the Open. I mean, it's nice to work with someone and brainstorm, right? And then when someone's struggling, maybe they were struggling, you guys knew where the fish were, and you're like, hey.
The actual Canadian teams won. That there are 10 teams total score beat the American teams. The reason was, and I'm not going to mention who they were, but we had 2 extremely weak teams.
Oh.
We had 8 real good teams. It was guys like the Wheeler, Jacob Wheeler, and all those guys. The problem was we had 2 teams, and I'm not going to mention names, that didn't catch much anything. Well, that put us down like a pound below the Canadian group. The Canadian teams actually won the overall. Right.
JP, sometimes I feel like they're talking about me.
No.
They ain't talking about you, Tom.
Okay.
They ain't talking about you, buddy.
This is Tom, my buddy Tom. His nickname is 12-pound Tom Nee because he only brings in 12 pounds for 5, not one 12-pound. Yeah, he's a 12-pound guy.
Hey, Roland's heard of me.
Sometimes that cashes checks.
Don't you worry.
I was up in New Hampshire one time, and the guy came up to me. He says, he was talking about Lake Winnipesaukee. You probably know Winnipesaukee.
Yep.
Fishing. And he said, yeah, I've caught a lot of 12-pound bass out of Lake Winnipesaukee. And I looked at him and I said, sir, You are full of. I didn't exactly say it exactly what it was,
Right.
but they didn't catch 12-pound bass out of Lake.
No.
No.
Nobody's ever caught 12-pound bass out of Lake.
No. But 12-pound Tom needed. And we got JP. He's the frog expert down below. We were on the James River in that,
What kind of frog do you like?
What's your favorite?
What's your favorite frog?
My favorite's a Terminator popping frog.
What is it?
Terminator popping frog. You like that one?
I use the Spro series. I'm just in the Spro, but that's about the same, right? Close to
Yeah.
it.
There's a little more cup. There's a little bit more cup to the Terminator, and it's a softer frog.
I got you. We got a guy down in Florida. His name is Gary Milicevic, and he fishes Lake Okeechobee and all the lakes down South Florida. He wins like everything on the frog. And my son has fished with him. I've fished with him countless of times. We've been partners together in tournaments. So is Scott. The guy is an incredible frog fisherman. I've fished with Ish Monroe. I've fished with Dean Rojas. I've fished with the best frog fisherman in the whole country.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you the best frog fisherman.
Really?
Gary Milicevic down there in Florida.
No kidding.
He is absolutely the best. He watches everybody. I go out with him and he'll catch. He'll catch.
I don't have keys. It's just a code.
He'll catch 30 pounds. I'll catch 20
47140.
pounds. I mean, it's and Scott will go with. I don't care who he fishes with. He just
Roland.
catches the fish.
Roland, what color frog does he throw down there?
Gary mainly throws down in Florida. Our main frog is that Poppin Series 60, that Pop 60, and it's black with the red face.
Okay.
And what we do, we kind of modify it. And what Gary does is he takes the 4-aught hook that's out of the Bronzeye 65.
Yep.
The Bronzeye 65 is the frog with the pointed bill.
Great
But they
frog.
get old and then they tear up, and so we take the 4-aught hook out of that one, and the Spro 60 popping frog has a 3-aught hook.
Okay.
We switch the hooks. We put the 4-aught hook in place of the 3-aught hook,
Sure.
and we catch like all the fish that bite. But you do get hung up a little bit. The problem is the hooks stick out a little wider.
Yep.
And the bodies is this wide, like an inch wide, and the hooks are about a 1/16 of an inch farther out
Sure.
because it's the bigger hook. But you don't miss them. I'm
That's
telling
a
you,
key
you
little
can get all
modifier
the
there.
fish.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Wow.
It's a big deal.
Hey Tom, do you think
Heavy
that
braid.
it is
You throw it on
amazing that we're
least-
talking to Roland Martin?
What's that?
Roland and I catch up once in a while. I mean, this is no big deal to talk to a legend like this
Yeah,
guy.
it is pretty cool to have him on the
Yeah,
screen.
it's
I gotta tell you,
awesome.
man. I'm having like a moment right here. We're sitting here having a conversation with Roland Martin.
Right?
Roland, it's good to have you on the show, man. We're really excited to have you here.
We got some exciting guests coming up. Brian the Carpenter, BTC from Mike Live, will be joining us later. Bradley Hallman will be on.
Akinelli's coming up, right?
Well, not Ike, but BTC will be
Okay,
here. Yeah. He's close enough. We had it. Yeah. All good. In fact, no, I think Ike was coming up this week here to fish too, wasn't he? Yeah, that's right. He is.
I think he is.
He is coming up. Him and BTC are coming up to fish with you guys, so that'll be fun.
So
But,
what would Roland Martin have done on a dead flat tide on the
Dead-
James River?
Dead flat tide on the James River. What would you have done?
Well, I fished the James River on the classics, a couple of classics. I fished the James River and then the all the different creeks and all. What's the other big creek that's right there at the James?
Chickahominy?
Chickahominy.
I fished every inch of the Chickahominy.
Yeah,
All the way up to the dam. Then I fished above the dam.
right?
I fished all that. I fished everything above. I've gone through the dam. I've gone through the locks.
Sure.
You know, I've fished every bit of that. And I've come in pretty high. I've placed pretty well. I haven't won any of the tournaments here, but I've done well.
Yeah.
I've caught some good fish there.
You know, we had an issue where a lot of us running to the Chick in a recent tournament, we
Yeah.
ran into some
Right.
just a terrible tide, you know,
Right.
and everything was out of the water, everything was
Yeah.
exposed, and you know how it is. It's tough. What would be the bait of choice?
Well, let me tell you about the classic that Rick Clun won.
Okay.
Going into the third day of the Classic Field, when Rick Clunn won on the James River.
James River, yep.
Rick and I were tied for 10th. And we were headed down towards the Chick, and there's a place called Wade's Bay, I think it's
Wade's Creek, yeah.
Wade's Creek.
It's on the right-hand side before you get to the Chick.
Okay.
It's on the right. It's
That Ward's Creek.
Ward's
Creek.
Yep.
It's a cypress. There's about 30 cypress trees in the middle of the cove.
Yeah.
And anyway, the northeast wind had been blowing in there in the warm up, and I'd gone in there with a little square-bill crankbait, and I'd caught a couple big bass, 4-pounders. Well, that third day of the tournament came along, and Rick and I are now tied for 10th place.
Right.
So we're running neck and neck towards Creek. We're going right there. We're going right. We reach the cypress trees, and Rick is 10 feet ahead of me.
Okay.
So when I stop, there's like 25 cypress trees right there at Ward's Creek. And I said, well, Rick, I guess you beat me by 10 feet.
Uh-huh.
I said, there's not enough fish here for both of us.
Okay.
See, that was my point. There's not enough fish here for both of us. So
But he beat you. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and fish the Chick. So I'm going to leave you with Ward's Creek and let you fish here.
Okay.
Well, he fished there and won the Classic.
Wow.
He went from 10th all the way up to first. Now, I went to the Chick and fished all those areas in the Chick, and I had a limit, but not as many.
Yeah.
My boat broke down, and I didn't make it back, and a whole bunch of problems.
Oh, wow.
I would have come in like fourth or fifth. But the point was, if I had fished there, here's the point. If I had fished there, I wouldn't have won the tournament, but he wouldn't have won it either because I would have caught a couple of the fish that he caught.
Sure.
Because, I mean, there can't be 20 cypress trees and two good fishermen fishing 20 without us catching a couple of the same fish. You know what I mean?
That's true.
By me not fishing there allowed him to win.
Yeah.
If I had said,
were you upset with your decision, like when you left?
That's what we all do. We all honor each other's water, and we all say, if it'd been a real butthole about it,
right,
I'd have said, I'm going to fish here.
Uh-huh.
And if I had fished there, well, I wouldn't have won, and he wouldn't have won.
Right.
Hey, Travis, this reminds me of a similar situation by a bunch of cypress trees. Like, what happened? Like, what would you do in this circumstance?
Well, so James River last week, day one, I pull up to a cypress clump, half the size of this room. 50 yards away was another cypress clump, and there was a boat on it. As soon as I sat down and started fishing, that boat from 50 yards away came right at me, started pitching at my boat. As he inched closer, he looks at me and he goes, am I in your way? And I had no idea what this, I'm like, yes, sir, you are. And then he scoots the edge of my boat and starts fishing right next to me and continues on. I'm just like, well, that's a first. Some people don't play nice.
Roland would have gave him all the trees and said, there's just not enough fish here.
I don't know.
In the professional tournament ranks, we honor each other's water for the most part.
Sure.
And I mean, there's arguments, and you see stuff on the water about people arguing about who's got the spot.
Yeah.
But in general, we work together.
Sure.
That's how we have to do it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But what was interesting about that particular tournament on the James River was if I had beat Rick there, I might have won.
You could have won.
If I'd been 10 feet farther closer,
sure,
I might have won. He probably would have
crazy to
gone
think
on
that.
somewhere else, and I would have won.
Sure.
Well, I mean, who knows? But that's tournament fishing. There's so many little bitty
key decisions, right? All these little decisions you have to make throughout the day dictate and determine how your day is going to go. You try to control as much as you can, right? But there's outside influences, someone else fishing on your spot, weather, boat issues, things come up.
Wind, let's face it, on the James River, wind is paramount.
Yep.
The way the wind blows in and blows bait into stuff is probably one of the most crucial things that ever happens on the river.
True.
The way the wind blows.
Yep. Blows out the tide, even running. I mean, to run from Osborne boat ramp down to the Chick is not an easy feat. You know, I mean, we run big water here all the time, but it's a little different, a little sketchy at times. You know, floaters out there. Yeah.
And when you got 235 boats, and there's a cypress tree pattern, you're bound to run into another angler.
Oh,
at
yes.
some point when you're running them
on. Everybody was on the wood. It didn't take people long to figure that out.
And then when 135 boats, that's not many. That's not good.
235.
Huh?
230.
Oh my God! You get each boat gets 4 cypress trees.
Right. It wasn't fun, but we made it through.
I mean, how many clumps of cypress trees are there on the James? There's only
a handful.
Maybe
of mega
2,000, maybe 2,000 cypress trees at the most.
Yeah.
On the whole river.
Sure.
You know? And so that's not, it's not a lot.
We don't get to experience cypress too much on the Chesapeake, even the Potomac. I don't recall seeing any cypress on the Potomac. Maybe there is in certain areas, but that's my as far south as I normally fish would be for the Northern Opens is the James. And I always say if there's snakes and cypress trees, it's not a northern fishery show, so it shouldn't even be a Northern Open, right?
Right.
Take us up north where we belong.
That's right. I mean, you pull up to a cypress tree at 11 o'clock in the morning and you go, man, this looks good, but I know 30 boats hit it already.
Oh, yeah.
I call the James River a southern fishery.
Exactly.
I do.
Yes. I agree. Right? Even the Potomac is borderline.
Yeah, that's the southern fishery.
Yeah.
You get up to Havre de Grace, it's, I don't know.
Kinda. But you can catch smallmouth there, so we'll call it a northern fishery. That's fine.
Anyway, folks, hey, it was great.
Very cool. Yes, it was fun.
And, thanks again.
Yeah,
Hey, Roland.
Absolutely.
Before you take off, man, tell us what you're going to do tomorrow.
Well, we really don't know because Will Clute has arranged this whole thing. We got O.T. Fears, we got Jimmy Houston, we got all these other people from O'Reilly Tackle and everything else. I mean, that's it. We got all kind of people here.
We don't know.
Awesome. We don't know what we're gonna do because Will's kind of the head.
Yeah.
So we don't.
What I'd really like to see is, how Will likes to start out 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm excited to be up here. I want to see.
He said 9. It was 10 o'clock.
Well, he switches. Yeah, it'll be noon. Anyways, I want to see Roland. I want to see Jimmy, myself, and Eric at the boat ramp early in the morning when that mist is still on the air. And here's what we do. We have a challenge from the boat ramp. No boats. 15 minutes. Who can catch the most smallmouth from the bank? That would be fun.
Can I wade out there in the water?
Yeah, you can. Jimmy will be throwing his spinner bait. I'm going to throw my Ned, and you'll throw your Cinco, and we'll call it a day and see what happens.
Hey, I got one more question for Roland. I see somebody in the comments asking him for him to tell the story about when he won on the Hudson River way back when. But yeah. I just want to ask, do you remember Danny Stadler?
Danny Stadler? Stadler?
Yeah, Stadler. Dan Stadler from the Hudson River.
Dan Stadler.
I can't recall.
Okay.
I can't recall that.
No, is he a stick on the river?
He was a stick in New York, and he fished against Roland quite a bit back in the day.
Okay, sure.
I've heard name maybe, but I don't really know Dan Stadler.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a tournament. Dick Garlock, who passed away 2 years ago, he was my good friend up from Alexandria Bay. He put me on those. That was the Newburgh docks, all those big docks out there just south of Newburgh, between Newburgh and West Point.
Okay, JP probably knows more. I've never been on the Hudson.
Well, there's all kind of big. There's a big set of docks.
Is it like residential or commercial stuff?
No. These are old.
Okay, old broken down.
Cotton docks or some kind of loading docks that are 100 years old, and there's like 2,000 pilings.
Jeez.
Maybe more than 2,000. They go out a quarter of a mile out in the lake, and that's where I won the tournament.
Does that still produce today?
I wouldn't know. They have a 15-inch limit. I don't ever fish it.
Oh.
There's not a lot of tournaments on the Hudson River anymore.
Yeah. Huh. What was
that was a good tournament back then.
What were you throwing?
Spinner. Well,
spinnerbait.
I caught a 6.2. That was the big fish of the tournament. It was on a spinnerbait, And then I caught on jigs, on a black and blue jig, I caught another 5 1/4 and another 5. Well, I weighed in 25 pounds at 30.
Jeez, come on.
5 fish weighed 25 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, guys, I didn't know. So in the comments, they say you grew up in Laurel, Maryland.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know any of this. I didn't know he trapped to pay to get through muskrats and mink.
I said, Travis, look at that mink.
I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, we trapped those back in the day.
Yeah, back in the 50s. I started trapping muskrats in 1952 or 3. And I would get a male black muskrat out of
Okay.
Maryland. And I'd get maybe $2.25. It was a lot of money back in 1952.
I don't think you
or
get that
53.
nowadays for a muskrat.
And that's how I bought my first car. That's how I bought my first shotgun. I bought my first rifle. I trade all the muskrats and mink pelt in it with the head Montgomery Wards.
Right.
It's a big old
Yeah.
Sears Roebucks. You send your muskrat pelts in, and you send them all in, and they grade them, and they send you back a deal, and you get this money order, and it was like $100 worth of credit.
Yep.
You can either take it in credit in the catalog,
Sure.
or you could just get money.
Right.
So I took it in credit in the catalog, and I'd get all this stuff out of the catalog. It was
Jeez.
kind of like a
Yeah.
Bass Pro Shop catalog.
Right. All right. They want to know one last question. Pound for pound, what fights more, smallmouth or largemouth?
I think the smallmouth's probably.
Gotcha. And then we have one other guy here. He needs to have you give him a son in the camera. If you can.
What?
You gotta give like the shout out, son.
Like son. Okay.
Nailed it.
But you can't say that unless you get a fish in your hand. When you
Okay.
get a fish in your hand, you go, son.
They were just
it's like a
asking.
big deal. It's like
Right. He said it a few times to me today.
You don't have a
He
fish.
said that a few times to me today. Yeah, we got him to say it. He's
That's
not
cool,
shy.
man.
I promise you.
That's awesome. That's cool. Roland, I can tell you, man, I've had a blast just hanging out with you. I don't know how much more time we're going to have with you, but
We
I
got to
can
actually
tell you-
head over to Gajo World Headquarters. Will's going to let us wrap this show up. I know you got to get to bed. Epic Eric is somewhere around here. And we got a few other guests coming on yet tonight, but
So anyway, hey, we'll see you later, folks.
we appreciate it.
later.
See you later,
I
Roland.
gotta say thanks,
Man,
Roland.
wow.
Roland, what an incredible day. I'm back. I was getting the boat ready. I'm the assistant. And to share a boat with a legend like you was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Great.
I cannot thank you enough. You're a heck of a fisherman. We see why now.
It was awesome.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
Wow, Roland Martin, everybody, on Smallmouth Crush. How about
Hey, that was pretty cool, huh?
Unreal, guys. Unreal. Unreal.
Yeah.
Ooh. Dude, that guy sold muskrats to buy a car.
I know.
That's some muskrat love right there.
Dude, I raked leaves. That guy trapped muskrats.
The things we learned.
1954. Man, Travis, what did you do to buy your first car? Get a couple views?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to grab his?
let's
Just
go.
grab his stuff that
Oh,
way.
they're
Guys, I'm
backing
going to
up.
help Roland with
I'll
his
be here.
tackle. See you later.
JP,
Yeah.
what's up with that? Where's Gary? Did he miss
I
this?
don't know. Gary must be camera shy.
Wow.
You know?
That's just unbelievable, man. Hey, so
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So JP, get back to your story because we kind of interrupted you, and I apologize. But you're talking about your frogs. We're talking about what you're throwing in the pads, and then your secondary pattern, which was maybe flipping wood, and you just struggled, right, to get anything going.
Yeah. So what happened was when we got to the James on Friday, we were fishing an incoming tide, right? And we were fishing high water, and there was lots of fish on the cypress trees. And the second day of practice, I actually went around and I marked at high tide all the trees that had a significant amount of water, 1.5 foot plus, where I could get my boat to, you know. And as the week progressed, you know, the tide changes, I think, an hour and 15 minutes every day or whatever it does, right? I'm not really familiar with it too much.
It's an
And,
hour and then about 30 minutes of slack.
Right. And what happened was when the tournament took off and I got up there and I'm looking at my tide chart and I'm like, all right, we're going to get 2 hours of outgoing tide. I'm boat number 180. I'll get an hour of outgoing tide and I should be able to get a limit off the trees like pretty quick. I was pretty confident about it. Well, I'll tell you, I couldn't even get my boat near the trees. I had my trolling motor out of the water, my motor trimmed up, and I was beaching my boat to get all to the trees I wanted to fish.
Oh man.
And, you know, the wood wasn't really the pattern I wanted to fish anyway, because I saw the bigger fish in the pads on the frog. And after about 6 stops on trees and not being able to get to them, I just said, I'm putting the big stick in my hand and I'm going for it. And you know, I was able to get a limit pretty quick with the frog the first day, and I went back down to Osborne, and I culled out. I caught it like a close to 4-pounder,
Nice.
and I was like, man, you know, I'm right close to 12 pounds. In the past, it's been a great weight to get a check and get good points. And then the second day, they just wouldn't eat it. They were blowing up on it and wouldn't eat it, and
Jeez.
and I was fishing in some areas that some of the people that did well in the tournament were fishing in. So that was kind of frustrating to see that part too. It's like, man, you know, they still had a good bag while I was struggling hard, you know, but you know, it's all a learning curve and I'm still learning the tide. So,
Right.
I mean,
it's just,
Well, I definitely want to share kind of our story together and how we work through practice and things like that. But I do want to get Rick on for Monster Bass real quick because my battery is running low.
And we have to head to the world
And we have to get to the Gajo World headquarters. And then we're going to continue this live. But I don't want to leave Rick hanging just yet. Rick, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Where are you going?
Dude, Roland Martin in the house earlier.
I saw that. I saw that.
How about that?
That's crazy. Craziness.
So where are you guys on?
We shared a bed together. Roland and I, we shared a bed fish together today. How about that?
True story. No, I can't.
Yeah.
No.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
I got one.
Listen, Rick.
Is he within earshot?
No, he had to get back to the hotel.
Good. Because when I first got into this industry, I remember calling my dad. I'm like, I'm going fishing. He's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going down to Florida. I'm going to go fish at some guy, I don't know, Roland Martin Marina. And I'm going to fish with Scott Martin, and Roland's going to be there. And he's like, my dad like kind of looked at me like I was the biggest idiot on the planet. And he's like, you work in this industry, you don't know who he is? I'm like, he goes, don't you remember like Saturday morning TV? And I was like, no. And my dad, like, I think he lost all respect for me at that moment.
It's all good, man. Yeah, we're up here at the St. Lawrence, Rick, just enjoying life, catching a lot of fish. And I'll tell you what, I can't remember the name of the bait, but I caught a couple key fish on it today.
Monster bass?
It was a bait that was in the bag. It was the tail spinner in last month's. Like a heavy metal with a little spinner. God, what was the name of that bait? Oh, it was hammered chrome. Hammered chrome.
Oh,
maybe it was 2 bags ago.
Was it a spinner
No, it's just one of them tail spinners.
Looks like a little George, but
it was a tungsten. It was from Catch Company. It was a tungsten jack slap.
Yes,
the jack slap. That
dude,
was it.
legit.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. Remember that weird looking Rick Klun crankbait that was in the bag?
Yeah.
I caught him on that too.
I love it.
It was awesome.
I love it.
So what's new? What's going on here at Monster Bass for this month?
Bro, it's I'm excited for I'm actually excited for next month's box, but I mean this one. Well, I mean, we started this Big Bass Championship. It's a year-long tournament. $10,000 worth of cash and prizes. Everybody at Monster Bass gets to fish it for free, and if you're part of the general public, $10. And break the country into regions and give somebody a crap ton of prizes. Because every time you go out fishing, it could be worth a lot of money.
Is 10-pound Tom TPT? Is he considered part of the regular public, or is he too skilled to get in on that?
No, he should get in on it right now.
That was pretty good, JP.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it, man.
JP, you're getting good with the camera, man. You're getting comfortable. You're funny when you're on the camera. You guys are awesome. Listen, no, all due respect, 12-pound Tom Nee caught 12 pounds 1 ounce. Okay, and yes, he caught one lousy fish day 2. Don't hold it against him.
It was 3 lousy fish. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rick,
Yeah.
so
Almost weighed as much as your 5.
man, that's funny.
Anyways,
Anyways,
Rick, are we going to talk about this new box, or is that all secret?
No, we can talk about it. We can talk
Let's do
about. I mean, there's quite a few of them. So, let me see what's in this one.
What do you got?
Uh,
Yeah, nothing. Hey guys, if we cut out, it's because the battery is like almost about to cut out.
wow, what is that?
What is that thing?
This is from Chase Baits. It's a prop duster glide bait.
Okay.
I like to call it the crop duster, but let me see here.
Wow, that is cool.
Uh,
Whoa,
Whoa.
that's sexy.
Oh yeah, with the little prop in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
So
I'd love to see the action on that.
I'll bet you would.
I'm
Let's
in.
see.
Baby bass pattern was that?
Yeah.
That's baby bass pattern. We got some Z-Man cross-side jigs.
Good jigs.
Yeah.
Good jigs. Yep.
Absolutely.
I love
The
these,
O'Shaughnessy hook. I love the hook on that jig.
X-Zone Pro Series Slammer.
There you go.
Hey,
If Pollinek's fishing Lake Ontario, I guarantee he's throwing that bait.
X-Zone.
and then we threw in some Daiichi hooks, drop shot hooks for those.
Sure.
You gotta have those, right?
Absolutely.
Let's see. I don't know about this bait.
Okay.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, this is a really, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but so Mustad makes this bladed jig, the scatter shad.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah.
it?
Yes,
I have.
I have.
It's
Intriguing.
weird because the blade kind of spins. It's not really like,
What?
it's not. So the jig head just has like a piece of wire and a ball on the end, and that's how the blade is. Give me this.
Take it out.
Take a look at that.
Let's inspect
You haven't
this
seen
closer.
that.
I've read about
It's-
it, but I
it's-
haven't seen it in person.
I've seen it in person, and
Oh.
it's actually very well built.
It may be well built, but I'll be honest, I don't love it.
Okay.
So look at this. It's literally spins.
Whoa.
No, I like that.
You do?
That's gonna be a.
Is it a hunting kind of action
No.
because of that? I mean, it's
I bet you
scattercat.
it's an in between a swim jig and a chatterbait.
Well,
dude.
no, I'm thinking it's going to
More-
be erratic because it won't be. It'll go off center and come back.
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
see it coming back to
scatter
center. I
cat.
see it rolling on top of the water. If that's what you're thinking.
You mean doing like a 360 loop like
the
a
wrong
plane?
way coming back to the
Yeah.
boat, right or not?
I think that would be a design flaw. I think it's just going to go like this.
No, I don't think it'd be that.
But we'll have to say. Do you have the box with you?
I do.
Bring it in the boat.
Bring it in the boat and find out for me.
All right, we'll do the legwork on that.
You have it with? For
I
real?
believe so. Yeah.
Oh, bring it.
If I brought the right bag.
I want to try a glide tomorrow
All right, I gotta look.
for the pre-spawn smallies. You got
All
any
right.
glide baits with? Other than that one?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have that one.
What else we got? We got a fat-free shad.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Fire tiger.
We got a Rick Clun spinnerbait.
The trickster.
Trickster.
Now listen,
Yeah.
that dude
That's dynamite.
throws that spinnerbait, man. Like that's the only spinnerbait you see him throw.
Yeah, there's no other blade like it. That blade is like an oar. Throws off a completely different vibration than
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
He's been fishing that dude for years,
Mhm.
For
10
sure.
plus years.
Yeah, he did really well down on. He threw a 3/4 ounce, I think down in Florida for
Yeah.
big bites late in the day.
Yep.
This is
Very cool.
half ounce. So this
In fact, here's a funny story, real quick.
Yeah.
That spinnerbait, Rick Clun, Will actually fished as a marshal here on the St. Lawrence River, and Rick Clun did really well on an event up here on that spinnerbait.
Was that Champlain?
No, it was here on the St.
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Might have
Went to
been
the bank?
3-4 years ago.
Yep.
But busted him up on it, and it was so impressed that Will. Next time I came up here, Will's like, "Dude, check out all these spinnerbaits, same exact color, everything." It was that trickster, and he caught fish on it. It was pretty cool. So yeah. Anyways, good spinnerbait.
From Big Bite Bait. This is the trailer for the
Yes.
for the bladed jig.
Yes.
It's what is it? The Kamikaze Swim On from Big Bite.
Yeah. I also want to say, don't discount that as a trailer on a spinnerbait and a swim jig.
Yeah.
Or chatterbait. I really was intrigued with that. That plastic is so thin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that I can make the hooks work on some of my baits, you know, with that, because it would probably give off a really cool action. So I've never used that, but I'm looking forward to
They
trying
make
it.
a crazy red one if you're into red and spraying for chat.
Yeah, it was actually Daniel. It was actually Daniel Nussbaum from Z-Man that recommended this because we couldn't get a Z-Man plastic, and he said if he couldn't use one of his plastics, this would be his #1 trailer for a chatterbait.
Very cool.
Right, not as thick as a Zacco.
Right.
All right. Yeah, and the comments coming in, I throw that on a jackhammer. It's killer.
Yep.
What else? What?
I never knew about it until I looked at it.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
So it's funny, you one of the first baits you showed was a chase bait. And I was just looking at their new curly tail grub today because I'm gearing up for
How far is he from here?
Oneida, which is our next stop on the Open
Home
Series.
lake.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a box for Oneida, man.
Just give me your address. I'll pack it full.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. So it looks like we lost our famous host. So they had some battery issues. They were remote, obviously, somewhere out in the middle of I don't know, the reservation. Apparently, they got a reservation up there with a lot of smallmouth, and they had some legends with them in the back of the boat. Roland Martin, Jimmy Houston, a bunch of other guys. I don't know how guys like Travis and Epic Eric get an opportunity to do that, but that's really cool. So Rick, we got our butts whooped down there on the James River, man. Did you ever fish it?
I have not, but I've fished Oneida a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's the deal? How are we going to make it work?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been there all season long, but of course you can't have any kind of help, right? But if you want help, I'll give it to you.
We're gonna need all the help we can get, man. We're down there, and like I don't know about you, JP, but I finished I think 162nd out of 225. Yeah.
Where do you guys stay when you go to Syracuse?
Well, this year Travis booked a house with 3 beds, but there's 4 of us, so somebody's gonna be crashing on the floor. But we're actually gonna be staying on the water right by the river on the east side.
I always stayed at the Bel Air, man.
Yeah.
Remember that lady with the fingernails? She had the long fingernails, and she was pretty cool. And then some biker guy bought it out, but it's got the best parking. It's got a light post for each boat. I think there's like 20 rooms, and if I wasn't renting a house, I'd be staying at the Bel Air.
Nice.
It's not like the Taj Mahal, but it's good for fishermen, you know.
Well, there's not much of a Taj Mahal in Syracuse. It is what it is.
Dude, this one time I stayed at the Brewerton Motel.
Oh yeah, that's the bloodbath.
I didn't know any better, man.
I think I might have took a girl there in high school.
Thanks, man.
The Brewerton's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
So Rick, tell us, man, what's happening over at Monster Bass this week?
Well, this year has been a big push for us in terms of retail expansion. We've developed about 150 SKUs. It's taken us quite a while, and we're now ready for to carry our baits in big box stores across the country. So far, knock on wood, everyone that we've talked to is going to carry the baits. So we're really excited about that. We've got a couple new ones coming out, I think in about 3 months. It's a lot of work, man. I got to tell you, it's I think of myself as a marketer, not really a bait designer. So, I designed one bait like 3 years ago, and that was the only thing that I did. And then after that, every bait I designed after that was a complete disaster. Just a disaster, because it's funny, you're designing baits and you start working with factories, overseas, and you think that you're like working on something that's unique until you find out that it's like, oh, we ripped off this brand. And we were using this mold, and all they did was change the gill plates and the eyes, and you don't know about it until later on. It's really, really hard, like coming up with unique designs. Even when you start from a CAD drawing and you give it to them, they'll literally take a bait. Like, they're notorious for taking like Duo and literally taking your design, overlaying it on top of a Duo and giving it to you. Unless you cut that bait open, you'll never know. You'll never know. It's so hard. Like, I came out with one bait that's never been to market because I found out after the fact that it was a complete ripoff. Like, we spent months testing. Like, we sent months. We sent this stuff out to like 25 different people. They were testing them. We loved everything about it. And one person said it's got the unique action of this one bait. And I would never have known it. And sure enough, we cut it open, and it was the exact same insides as another bait. And we wasted like 6 months of testing. It was the worst. So like, you think about, bringing baits to market. It's really, really hard to bring something unique to market because those factories over there are ruthless. They're ruthless.
And we're talking one SKU, and now you're up to 150. So like, what was that journey like?
So typically what I do with most of these baits is I start with 6 colors. Like here's one. These just came. Let me find one.
You're probably not going to have green pumpkin in there. I know it.
No, it's a hard bait. So let's use this one. This one's just because it's So this is the first bait. This is the first bait I ever designed. Well, the first bait, not the first color. It's it's just simple like walk the dog type bait. And typically at Monster Bass, all of our baits have a front red hook. It's just kind of I've been a big believer in red hooks. It's just, for me, it's a confidence thing. And so all the baits we design have red hooks. So this one comes in 2 models, one with a feathered treble and one without. And they each come in 6 colors. So, same bait, 6 colors. And then we bring it out to market, and, typically 2 colors are going to flop. So then you're back at 4, and then you create 4 more. So you're up to 8 for each one. And then we're going to put it in retail, and then we'll see what retail thinks about the colors. We always make one in, we've got this crackle pattern that has always.
Those hooks are sharp, aren't they?
Yeah, I use, so here's one. It's, it's simple, like bone pattern with some red crackle on it. And these things, this in a white and black is probably the most, I've sold more of those. I think I probably sold like 15,000 of this color in like 6 months.
No
I
kidding.
think it catches a lot of fishermen.
Hey man, I'll bet you it catches a lot of fish too.
Yeah, this is by far one of my favorite. I designed this one with a guy that used to design for Castaic, and he helped me design that one. And so we've also come out with this line of crankbaits. And actually, I don't have those.
So these 6 colors, what are the names of the colors?
What are the names of the colors? So I've got a ghost. Let's see. We got a chartreuse blue. So it's just chartreuse with blue on top. We got a ghost blue, like a translucent.
Nice.
We've got the red crackle one. And we've got, I love this one. This is Black Mamba. It's just all black with, it's got, you can't really see it, but it's got sparkle all over the bottom and the sides.
We can see it. Sharp, man.
And then, you got your bone color like I showed you. What else we got? We got Ghost Shad, translucent again.
Rick, what kind of rattle do you have in that?
Like Are we talking steel ball bearings or tungsten or what
Like
do you
shake
want
it so the guys can hear it.
Oh,
Can you shake one?
yeah.
So it's a hard knock. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we got a square bill that's oh, it's right here. We got a square bill both in silent and with a rattle. The silent series we did. So all of our baits, we work with a custom paint on all the new ones. We work with a custom painter, and
Nice.
And so he develops all of our new patterns. So this one isn't the silent square, but we did a silent square version with Alex Rudd. He's a YouTuber with a pretty good sized following, and so we recreated 4 patterns that were from his childhood, and those have been pretty successful. We've got a crankbait series. We got a 6, an 8, and a 12-foot diving depth on those. I got a 99, a 99, and a 109 jerk bait. So we've got a full line. We got a lipless that's a 69 millimeter.
So Rick,
Yeah.
these big box stores. I mean, you've been working your ass off to try to get them in there, and it sounds like you're gonna have some success now. Where are we gonna see them first?
First, you're gonna see it at Tackle Direct. I went to them first only because I wanted to make some mistakes, and I know the owners of Tackle Direct are good friends of mine, and I knew he'd rip my stuff apart and give me good constructive criticism. So we're gonna see it.
They're out of New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see Tackle Direct. We're gonna see Academy. We'll see Tackle Warehouse. I hope that one's not done. We've got a bunch of little tackle shops around the country. We're gonna see it at Omnia Fishing. I don't know what else they've got closed, but they've been working pretty hard. We literally just started about 3 weeks ago on the retail side.
Wow.
Because obviously, we haven't. I think one of the advantages that we have is that I've got a built-in distribution model. If I pump 30,000 of these out a month, and I tell them you can get more at Tackle Direct or Tackle Warehouse, it's a really great model for seeding the market. And let's face it, we've seen what some other YouTubers have been able to do with their product, and now it's they've taken over the stores. It's crazy.
Yeah, no doubt, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Congratulations too. That's a lot of work.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and we're a small little company. There's only 6 of us.
Well, I have to tell you, I may have infringed on your trademark over this past week.
You can.
You see, every time I was setting the hook, I'd lean into that thing, and I'd swear to God, JP will attest to it. I go, monster bass.
Love it.
My high noon. But that's a true story. And every time I did that, that fish ended up being a little bit bigger than 1.5 pounds. So it was all worth it.
Nice. Yeah. So it's funny when we named the company Monster Bass, I thought for sure someone had trademarked that. I mean, given that there was a video game called Monster Bass, there's a TV show, it's such a common name. And when I found out no one trademarked it, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You're
in, man. It's all you.
Trying.
You better get it trademarked. I might have to trademark it now.
No, I already did.
Cool, man.
So,
all right. So we got big box retail. We still see your bags hitting the front steps of a lot of subscribers.
Yeah.
What's next in the journey? Anything down the road?
Yeah. Well, we've got this. We're releasing, there's this thing, text to purchase is really popular, and we're using a service today. Every Monday you join our VIP list and we hit you up with some kind of a special. But we've got this new technology that's similar to, have you heard of Lunker Text? All right. So you literally, we send you out a text message, and you sign up for our list. I tell you the deal, and all you do is reply with a number that you want, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. You reply 3. It literally creates an order in the back end of our system and sends you 3 of them. It's that simple. You don't have to do a darn thing. And so it's a really interesting way to purchase, because we can just offer the most ridiculous deals, and you just reply with a 1, 2, 3, or 4, and the whole thing gets processed and ordered like the same day. And I think that's going to be an interesting way to purchase, especially like impulse type deals.
And I bet you're already thinking about like timing that, based on seasonal fishing patterns and what baits are going to be. Yeah, you probably have it all. At least you're trying to figure it all out, right? Like,
trying.
Down south, we're going to be hitting them a little earlier than the folks up north with those spawning baits.
Yeah, need a little help, but I mean, we're doing the best we can.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a great idea too. I mean, you're going to catch a lot of fishermen with the text feature for sure.
100%. And listen, it's that easy, especially when we're getting, the deals that we're getting, because, we have the opportunity to purchase product at prices that nobody else can. And so because of that, whenever I have anything left over, it does me no good to let it sit on the warehouse floor. Like, I'm not trying to compete with Tackle Warehouse. I want the product to come in and then go out the door. And if I have anything left, rock bottom prices, builds loyalty, keeps people focused on monster bass, and keeps them coming back for more. And I feel like if we can continue to do that, and then continue to build out our platform, I think we'll be in a pretty good position, because, it's not just about fishing. We, the parent company that we created was called Outdoor Playground. And because, obviously if you fish, big percentage of them hunt, a big percentage of them, they spend their time in the outdoors. And so with Outdoor Playground, we see a family of brands underneath it, so that we can, build your trust and loyalty, and then service all of your outdoor playground needs. So
sounds like you got a lot of work to do, man.
I do. You want a job?
Hey, listen, I have to ask you, man. JP's been a little quiet here, but I already know what's running through his head. Did you make a frog yet?
Okay, so I need some help with a frog. Pre-COVID, we were pretty good with what we wanted for a frog. We'd spent a lot of time working on this thing. We placed our order. I paid I'm almost embarrassed to say, I paid about $50,000, and they went belly up during COVID, and I never got. Yeah,
scary.
Yeah, and
my kid.
Hey, listen, there's nothing embarrassing about that. I mean, listen, you're taking a shot on your business. You got to make the investment. Nobody's going to start pumping out a couple 100,000 frogs for you without any sort of upfront money. And the fact that they went belly up is not your fault. At the end of the day, you did your business research. You identified them as a potential partner, and it didn't.
Sure.
Was it a U.S. based company, or was it foreign?
They had a U.S. entity and a foreign entity, and they went belly up. I mean, there was a ton of them that did, so whatever. It was just the luck of the draw. Hey, look, these guys are back.
Hey guys, can you hear us?
We can.
All right, good. Yeah, sorry, we were at the restaurant. Now we're at Gajo's World Headquarters, and we're ready to go.
Got issues with my chair.
We got issues, man.
We all have issues.
Tom, first of all, I want to say, good job at holding the fort down, man. Like my intern Alex, guys, just so you know, he decided to take a vacation during the week of the open practice and tournament, and now when
you told me he went and got married.
He got married, and this is like his honeymoon or something.
That's not a vacation.
Really a vacation.
That's a honeymoon, right? So
yeah, but it was he didn't put in a request, nothing. He just said, "Hey, I'm not going to be available for the next 2 weeks."
He requested to get married.
I think unpaid interns can just say what they're going to do.
Oh,
Or you can say, "You are fired."
I guess.
Fired. The old Trumpster.
I like that was from oh my gosh, The Fifth Element.
We got to make I want to make a video tomorrow with some of the baits in the Monster Bass bag I brought along. And if we have time, I want to do a challenge where we try to catch a fish on every bait that's in that bag. And I think we can get it done.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we got to find some time for it, man. It's crazy. I wish we had more time up here to do all this craziness, but we only get 2 days. And I get to head back down on the Chesapeake. We have a BFL coming up Saturday, I believe. Tom, you fishing that?
No.
Oh.
He's like,
No.
So Gary just texted me. He said, "Have you heard from Travis?"
Okay.
I texted him back. I said, "Yeah, we've been on here waiting for you." So
Okay.
Invite
Yeah.
him.
We'll get him on. Well, very cool. Dang.
you're not fishing the Chesapeake this weekend, Tom?
No, man. Nope. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to spend some time with the family. I'm going to gear up for the Ike Foundation event where I think my father and I need to
Do it again.
do it again, retain the title. So I'm going to practice up for that.
I can tell you what I'm going to be doing this weekend. The
What?
GoPro's going on the boat. I'm going up to Champlain. I'm cracking between 23 to 25 on video and sending it over to you, Travis, so that these guys can see that I'm not messing around no more.
That's right. That's right.
nice.
Not messing around.
Rick,
I
what are
love
you doing this weekend?
Fishing the Cat Trail Championship down at Kerr Lake with Scooter
Nice.
for
Nice.
15
That's
large.
awesome.
Rick, what are you doing this weekend?
Not going to Cabo.
Hey guys,
Oh, that's right.
I don't have a way to answer anybody on the chat, so don't get on me because my phone doesn't have service.
Right,
and-
here's the chat.
Well,
Randall, just take it over and start typing. The keyboard's right in front of
did
you.
you say tartan? I'm going to start tartan right now. Okay, so who asked me a question? Oh, my
Eric,
God.
did you and Scooter find them last week or what?
We
That's all right.
So we start out with 15 and change for 19th place finish on day one out of 128 boats.
A lot better than us, Tom.
Yep, fish clean. And then day two, we looked at 20 pounds of fish, literally humping, swirling, boiling, cracking our baits. It was crazy, man. From whopper ploppers to Ricos to frogs. It was just a turned negative. I don't know what happened, but you know, when a fish seemingly destroys a Rico, you expect them to be hooked up, and they wouldn't hook up. It was really frustrating. So we were on the fish to place or win, but just didn't connect with them. Our big fish was just shy of 5, which I caught on a whopper plopper. It was hysterical because I caught the first fish on a whopper plopper. Scooter looks at me like 2 hours into the tournament. He goes, "I can't believe my partner, who's got the only fish in the boat at this point, hasn't thrown the whopper plopper again." Literally, I was bending down to get the whopper plopper rod. So I pick it up. We're in front of a private ramp. I literally throw the whopper plopper a foot onto the concrete. Oh, okay. Not hard. It kind of splashed a little bit in the water and rolled up on the concrete. I proceed to reel it down, and literally a bass comes from 10 feet away and destroys it. That was the one that was close to 5. And I'm like, it's game on now. And then all those fish missing our baits for the next 4 hours of the tournament. Jeez. It was really, really frustrating. So, yeah, we got points for the championship, trail with that. So we're fine. This was an angler's choice. It was their first 2 derbies of the year, and we're in the hunt. So that's what we want. You know, you want to have a fighting chance to win the points championship. So,
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Well,
So
I see
Rick, were
Gary.
you supposed to go to Cabo?
Yeah.
What happened?
I was supposed to go and fish on a TV show down there, and I don't know, COVID hit the cameraman, and
Wow.
now we're gonna go a month later.
Well, at least you're going to go.
I can't go. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna get into trouble if I go there.
Jeez.
If I don't have a reason to go and I go down there by myself, I'm gonna get into trouble. I know myself. That could be a good thing, though.
It could be. It could be.
You want to go?
Yeah, I mean, sounds like a great idea.
All right.
like if the five of us went, you wouldn't get in as much trouble, I'm sure.
Oh,
Well,
come
no drinking allowed.
None.
Yeah. What were you going to fish for? Sailfish or?
Oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever they wanted to go for. Dorado, marlin.
Damn.
So.
Well,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh, they think that you're commenting under me. Your phone's ready, by the way.
What am I now?
You can use your own phone to make comments.
Oh, sweet. Who logged me in?
Will did.
Will, thank you. Okay, I'm good.
Oh, shoot.
Wow.
Well, listen, Rick.
So
Travis,
yeah,
what?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say thanks, Rick, for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to have Rick back on next back to our regular schedule time. I know last week we had a little issue. We actually couldn't go live, guys, last week due to the fact that Bass Rules doesn't allow comments during the official practice because they don't want any information. So we just kind of, instead of having issues, we decided to not go live. But when we do go live for the Oneida event, I think we'll go live on Sunday night. That way we can take comments right before the official practice, because I really was hoping to touch base with everyone last week. We were all in the same place together. Gary, JP, Tom, you were there.
That was fun.
It would have been really cool to be able to do that. And that's why we missed you, Rick, last week, but we're glad to have you. Glad to have you back this week, and we'll get you back on schedule moving forward. So very cool.
I look forward to it, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, Rick.
All right,
congrats, man, on the SKUs and launching that product in the retail. I'm excited to see it at Tackle Direct. I mean, you're gonna have to let us know when that's available.
For
sure. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
Later, Rick.
All right, Rick.
Yeah.
We'll see you, man.
All
All
right.
right. Bye.
Good stuff, man.
Couple cool things happening at Gajo World headquarters, man. Couple
yeah,
new baits.
I see that.
Wow.
Before we go there,
Oh my.
well, let's talk about real quick. I see Gary's in the chat too. We got to bring him on.
Bring him on. Bring him on. Bring him on.
There he is.
Hey.
Gary, 18th place. Gary, almost top 10.
Gary.
Hey, dude, respectable, dude.
I mean, he was top 10 after day one, bro. I'm cheering him on like Gary.
I could have done it with the help of all you guys, that's for sure.
Man, that's
that
outstanding, man.
You did good. You did good.
Awesome.
You got to feel good, man, right?
Yeah, it's a good feeling. That's actually my best finish in the Open since I started them 2 years ago.
I mean, for never fishing title, that's a heck of a finish, because it really can be overwhelming, especially on a fishery that has 1,790,000 cypress trees.
Yes.
Right. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a little spun out in practice.
Yeah.
But something came together at the end there, and it actually worked out for me. So
Fantastic. That's good stuff.
Yeah. So Gary, I was just curious. I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days. Like, which one of my tips really paid off the most?
the tip when I stayed out of the Appomattox.
That's awesome.
You know,
you guys would have benefited from this new Gajo Baits Buzzin' Toad.
yeah,
I want to show you this. This is
for sure.
probably one of the softest buzzing toads I felt. A. B. You've got a keel-shaped buzzing toad. Can you see that? Like a boat hull. So that's for stability. This thing will it's slinky. It will slide through cover pads. The hook slot, really nicely designed. I know it's white and it's very hard to see, but there's a top hook slot. You can see it just about there for the hook to come through and nestle in to stay weedless. This is a great design. I saw it up close and personal in the water with Will today. Check out that purple death right there. Oh, for the old Chad spawn. Will at Gajo Baits is a master of color. I can tell you that. I've played with color with him. Some of the highlights that he makes. This is his new 6-inch swim bait. This thing was destroying the fish today. The action, I don't know if you guys have ever thrown one of his paddle tail swim baits, but the vibration is extraordinary. This is his 6-inch, of course. You can throw this tip for you tidal river rats that fish over grass. Nothing but a hook, and make it a beefy one, weightless over grass beds on a higher tide or a falling tide. You'll thank me later. This is green pumpkin. No, this is Paradise Blue Highlight. Green pumpkin highlight.
Green pumpkin blue highlight.
Blue highlight. Right. One of my favorites that Will makes. He's got like a smoky shad here, light blue back, silver belly. And Will, what are you calling this one?
That was the experimental gizzard shad.
Gizzard shad. So he's perfecting the colors now. But anyway, 6-inch swim baits, guys, these are just for not hand poured injected baits. He's got the density of the plastic down, the softness and suppleness to create incredible action. So
on the headwaters.
Yep.
This one here on the headwaters in Florida, and was the.
I'll tell you.
8-pound large.
I'll tell you what. I got back into toads on the James, and it was like
tubes.
It was cool because I haven't used a horny toad in a long time.
Yeah.
And I know, Gary, you messed around with it a little bit in practice, and I tied one on, and you kind of had a really cool hook that you used with it that I was really impressed by. I know JP tried it. I don't know if you used it or not, JP, but real good tip on that. But this,
I didn't hear Gary's.
Well,
tip,
I didn't want to. I didn't want to
Gary.
say it because I don't know if you want me to tell people.
Oh, Gary, we'll have to offline if I can get your.
Unless you want to share it, Gary, it's up to you.
We can share it. I mean,
I want to compare notes with you.
I use a VMC weighted hook, a screw hook.
Yep.
A 4-aught in that horny toad. With that weight, that little bit of weight, it keels the bait correctly every time.
Really does.
Yep.
And you see, the problem you have with the horny toad a lot of times, if you don't have a weighted hook, is it'll ride upside down.
Yeah.
The hook is pointed in the wrong direction. With that little bit of weight on that VMC hook, it automatically keels the bait for you.
Yes.
I've had some really good success with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like this because I've been feeling the horny toads all week, and they're hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
This is a really soft plastic, and I believe that hook would work really well in that. That's one of the biggest problems with a horny toad is the hookup.
Yeah. The strike to catch ratio.
Yes.
Sucks.
And I'm definitely going to give this a try.
With the frog, what I did with the frog, guys, was
Come on over. Come on, Will.
Get in here, Will.
Will's coming, the creator.
Will, we got a lot of questions about the swim bait too. We got, we're going to talk about the frog, but don't let me forget about the questions about the swim bait, colors, size, when they're going to become available. It sounds like.
Well, the way I designed this frog, I took a Ranger bass boat, the 21L, and I kind of designed the body right after, because most frogs, yeah, there you go. Most frogs I've seen, zone toads and all the other frogs, when you throw them in like really thick weeds and stuff like that, they tend to wrap around stems, or else, how the lily pad will sit like this and it comes through and it hits the V in the lily pad, gets caught. Well, this rides like a bass boat. The nose will, what's coming through the water will ride up like this a little bit. So when it hits the lily pads, it rides right over the top of them. If it hits the stems, it shoots to the side and goes right. We were throwing them today in some like thick weeds, and Jimmy Houston's sitting there, and he's throwing a spinnerbait. He says, and I just shot the bait right past him, and I started cranking it real slow. And he's not even watching. He's over here looking in the direction of the spinnerbait. All of a sudden, he sees this little white thing going by, and he snaps his head down. And he's looking at it, and he's like, he's watching it go by the boat, and he's like, man, that thing came right through the weeds, like no snags, no nothing. And so he's like, hey, can I get some of those? So I can throw him a big handful. He starts throwing them.
Yeah.
And he goes, I've never seen a frog come through thick cover like that. I mean, just bouncing off the weeds. Usually they get wrapped around, get caught up. It just swam right through the weeds that came through. And
are these available?
Yeah, they will be
now?
this Monday.
On Monday.
Yeah, Monday they're going to be on the site for sale.
Wow.
And it's buzzing toes.
Dude, I'm getting back into it.
Yeah. It's
been a while.
Here's a little trick with this toad.
What, JP? Why are you laughing like a...
Here's a little trick with this
Getting back into it.
if he ever was.
I know. Here's a little trick that OT Fears does.
Can you throw that on a spinning rod?
Yeah, that's what I was throwing them on a spinning rod. I made the
My
frog.
co-angler did.
The only thing would be the other thing that
No angler takes a frog, right?
is he uses that. What's that double hook called?
Yeah, it's the horny toad hook.
Yeah, the horny toad, and he actually rigs them up with the double horny toad hook.
And
This
how-
class.
I like
How
the
does
fact
that
that
like
has
the
the
size?
keel though.
Yeah, right in the sides like that.
Yeah.
Right through here.
It is
It's
nice.
really
But
hard
the
to
other
see
thing-
that hook with most.
And most
frogs.
guys don't throw frogs this way. Most guys, as soon as they see a frog, frogs are top water.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of guys are Texas that I sent.
They're
samples
flipping
of.
this.
They're using it as a flipping bait,
Yes.
putting the sinker on it, tungsten sinker, and they're flipping for largemouth in the weeds with it. Just
We
like
know a
that.
guy that does that on the Chesapeake Bay.
Who's that?
Just a friend of ours.
Who's that?
Yet to be named friend.
Is it secret friend?
I don't know.
Travis doesn't want to reveal their secrets, but I guess he just did.
Anyways,
I'm out of here.
yeah. So our next, obviously, like if you guys had just joined us, we had kind of a crazy. We were at the restaurant. We fished with Roland Martin today and Jimmy Houston. We shot a bunch of video. They were actually on for a little bit. BTC said he was in the waiting room. Tom, did you guys see him at all?
We don't get to see the waiting room, bro.
I thought you signed in.
No, dude, you were supposed to send me a 6-digit code to get into. This is like Fort Knox, dude. I can't get into Smallmouth Crush Live. It's easier for me to get into like my trading accounts than to get into Smallmouth Crush live stream.
I gotcha.
Dude,
Fair.
Gary, you missed Roland Martin, Jimmy Houston, a bunch of other bass fishing legends.
It was pretty
all
cool.
hanging out at a restaurant. Roland's over here.
Sell rolling.
What? Yeah, like Roland's way up into Travis's personal space, telling
Yeah, he got
stories.
close. He got close.
Listen, it was a really awesome time. I mean, JP's over here like a kid in a candy store. Like he's like, oh my god, like just totally losing his
It was a
shit
good time.
because he's talking to Roland. It was awesome. It was a great experience with some bass fishing legends. But
Yes.
dude, we got to talk about the James. I mean, you absolutely crushed it on the James. Give us more, man. Like you talk us through a little bit of practice. Talk us through what the decisions you made, come day one, and then, what happened on day two.
Well, as far as practice, I really had a tough practice. Being new to tidal water, being new to the James River, I really didn't know what to expect going in. So I obviously did what I normally do going into a tournament. I did my research. I did the YouTube thing. I did,
Google Earth. And I did see some areas that interested me that kind of brought me back to my roots when I got back home for spawning fish. So first day down there, I looked at them areas and there was some fish there, but back home I fished bigger baits, but by hanging with you guys and Eric, the smaller bait thing is what I wasn't keen on. But once you guys explained that to me, I was able to take that and go back and get more bites. So that's how I keyed in on them fish that I ended up fishing in the tournament. I really don't want to say where I was and what I did, but because I may come back down there someday.
Sure.
But it really opened my eyes, and the fish were really receptive to that smaller bait where I could not get bit on a bigger bait.
Isn't that amazing? It just shows you finesse and downsizing in pressure situation. A lot of boats, a lot of practice. That bite window gets smaller each and every day, and it matters.
It really does.
Or go supersize like Brandon Palaniuk and win.
That's
what the
true.
heck, right? One way or the other.
One extreme or the other, correct.
Yep.
Yeah. So Gary, talk a little bit about your pattern that you kind of picked up to and ran with day one. Like, we had fish that were pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn. We had them all over the map. We had a big stretch. We had a 4-hour tide from launch to the top of the chick. Like, what did you decide to do?
Well, what I decided to do was target spawning fish. These fish were spawning along seawalls, and what I did was I slowed down, downsized, and I was pitching. My bait had to hit that seawall and fall directly straight down. If you were a foot off the seawall, you were not going to get bit.
And by the way, the same applies with a cypress tree. If your bait doesn't hit the trunk and slide down, you generally
have a higher percentage.
Higher percent. I'm not saying you're not going to catch them, but they're probably not going to swim to your
like. And guys,
it has to be that accurate. Tidal water casting accuracy is critical.
Day one of the tournament practice, we were all pretty like stunned, like, wow, this is going to be a fun event. We're getting bites. We're all catching fish. Life was good. And as it continued the week, things kind of died off. I mean,
but I think
Eric and I practiced. Yeah, Eric and I practiced together for a day, and we had some good fish. You caught a nice fish, and we're going to have that practice video shortly for everybody. Gary, the same way. JP was loving life, right? You're like, man, I never had so many bites, and Tom had a respectable day, and I thought you had a really good mindset going forward into the week. But man, it got tougher and tougher with all that pressure. And the weirdest part is, like, the day before the event, we didn't practice the last day because of the fuel shortage, right? We had a hard time finding gas for our boats. And so I was worried. I didn't want to burn any gas because I needed that to make those long runs. But I grabbed Tom that night. I got back to the house around 7. We realized it's still light out. And I need to get something off my chest. I went to go check on the area I'm going to start in the tournament, just to know if I should really go there, because I had another idea in my head. I chose to go out there with Tom. Tom, you came out there and you saw it. We flipped the bait in on the cypress, and our lines moved almost immediately.
I know, and I jacked on them, dude. I was like, these are not my fish, and I was like, yeah.
No, but we shook them off, and I was really confident going into the tournament. And I did catch, just under 15 pounds on day one in that area. Day 2, I had a little bit more company in there. I lost the key fish in the morning. I only had one decent one. And then 4, like later on the day, 4 tiny 12 inchers, right? And so if I could do it all over again, guys, I would have stayed in that zone and just, because I ran all the way back up the chick with visions of horny toad bites, because I had some good topwater bites in practice as well. I actually caught 2 big ones, 5+ pounders on that tickler frog. I was just reeling in, looking at the birds or whatever I'm doing out there, not paying attention. And I didn't even hear the bite or nothing. All of a sudden my line and that's one of the things I wish I could take back was I wish I could have stayed in that zone a little bit. What regrets, Gary, do you have any if looking back on this event, would you have done differently?
Great question.
What I think I should have done differently was went into that other spawning area that I looked at the first day, a little further down the James. There was some man-made canals. I did have some good bites in there in practice. And again, I was like you. I had some good bites further north up the James, closer to Osborne, and I chose to go that direction. If I could do it over again, I would have probably either spent a little bit more time in my original spot or went to that other area. And because really all I needed was one more 3-pound bite, and I was going to fish Saturday.
Wow.
At the time, I didn't know that. I had this mindset that I needed 15 pounds to make that top 10. But in reality, I only needed 12 after everything was weighed in, and I looked back at it. So I was really only one bite from making that cut. And I wish I would have stayed where I was and just fished them seawalls, because I'm pretty confident with the 4.5 hours that I had left that day, I probably would have got that bite, because that bite was not depending on the tide at all. Them fish were spawning, they were protecting. I just needed to put that bait in front of one more fish, and I make that final day cut.
So I have a question for you guys. I didn't hear anybody talk in their look back or their game plan, tide and time. I think in title and in any situation that's title, the spawn, if you have spawning fish, fry garters, tide doesn't matter. But if you're fishing for other fish, it matters a lot. And so your tide changed over your practice period. So did you adjust your game plan in terms of your starting spots, your finishing spots? Did you think about it? Because I've never seen a river system, and most river systems are this way, that last 2 hours of outgoing, first hour and a half of incoming or two, that's your bite window. Literally, maybe an hour and a half of outgoing. That last hour and a half is critical. You can get healthy, especially if you're in a creek and you caught fish in practice on a low tide. You can run that tide up that river system and do well, or stay in your one spot, wait for it, and literally get your 12 pounds in a half hour. It's ridiculous. I've never seen it like that. And I've helped people in the past that couldn't get it into their brain, and they ran around the river at all the wrong tides, chasing fish that just wouldn't bite.
Mm-hmm. So, Eric, I think
I try to leave you with that thought when I left.
I wish you were there to repeat that thought in our heads every 3 times a day, because when you say, hey, what would you do differently about this tournament? I would absolutely consider the tides in the difference between the launch, the Chickahominy, and everything in between, because you do have, so for instance, if you ran one of those tides, you really only get a 3-hour fishing window that's probably confidently productive at any one of those spots, but it's an 8-hour fishing day. Sure. Fortunately, on the James, you can travel to those different spots. So when we approached the event, I approached the event like it was going to be a spawning event, like I think a lot of us thought it was going to be. And, that requires bedded fish that are not moving, but unfortunately you can't see them until you have the bottom of the tide, where you can actually see them. So, you had to, we actually should have started practicing 2 weeks before this event, where we actually had the tide, where we actually had the sunlight. When right. And you should have been on spots at the prime time of that 3-hour, call it the 2 to 3 hour window of every low tide. And you should have practiced those spots at the low tides, and then call it 3 spots up by the launch, 3 spots halfway through, 3 spots all the way up in the Chick. You should have 9 spots where you can catch fish on any tide, and you should have been able to run that. 225 boats in this event, on a spawning event. I'm sorry, dude. You could not win this on a spawning event, on a spawning spots only tournament. There was no way you were going to carry that for 3 days with the competition of this event. You are working with professional anglers. They know their game. They know they're spawning fish. They're going to eat them up on day 1, and you're going to be left with nothing on day 2. And if you don't have pre-spawn or post-spawn title spots dialed in, you're 162 out of 225.
Yeah, so I think your 2 week comment is really savvy, because you get the exact same tide. If you go the week before the tournament, your tides are going to change dramatically. So you got to adjust your game plan and your starting spot to map to your lower tides, or when you got that bite. Was it mid tide? There's another factor that plays in, man. Those shade rings as well expands the bite window and area. It's fascinating to me, man, in tidal water and dock systems, how the shade plays. Anyway, just thoughts for future tidal river tournaments,
JP, what were you thinking?
I was thinking, I hope my future doesn't hold any more tidal water.
All right. Well, listen, really good recap. We're going to put some of the videos out here in the next couple of weeks. I got a lot of footage to go through. It's kind of almost overwhelming, but we're going to get through that. We're going to talk a little bit more about our experience on the title. And I guess for me, like I said, definitely not going to make the elites with that finish I had at this past James. JP's out. Tom's out. Gary's got a shot. Gary's got a shot. But now we're focused on the win, and you're in for the Classics. So that means Oneida, Lake Ontario. Not going to be fishing for points. I'm going to try to go out there and do my best to get the biggest bag possible. and hopefully be cool to be able to win one of these damn events once in my life. You know what I mean? It's so hard to do. Speaking of,
throw this into the show.
we got.
Yo, BTC,
Is that
you
Almond in
always
the
roll in
background?
with your own
Almond
background
in the house.
noise?
BTC's eating.
Always.
Do they even know they're live?
I don't think so.
Hello?
What? What in the?
Are we on yet?
Yeah, you're on, bro.
All right, so
Brett
Guns
Hall, you call him on the James, didn't you, son?
Say what?
What?
Who? All right, Brad, bring it in. What was the question? Trivia. We got a trivia question.
Wait, so
Okay.
Brad, real quick, I actually saw you. Was it yesterday? I saw you on Scott Martin's challenge.
Yeah.
You whooped up on him. Congratulations, man.
Hey, hold on. Don't act like it's a big deal. Hat off his head in Florida. It's true. It's true.
I think I had Castle Rock in the boat. And so here was the deal in that video is that Todd got to catching him. He's on the front deck of my boat and like trying to get around him to even make a cast. He's not good at blocking co-anglers. He's good at blocking his team partner. And so like real broad and his cast get real rounded. And so like he just hogs up the whole front of the boat. But yeah, I think we did beat him. I think it was round one. I think Scott and Andrew caught him pretty good in round two on the second show.
Yeah, well, you know, they always, they keep going. It's like best of one, and then they lose.
Yeah.
Best of three, and then best of five. And before you know it,
I just want everybody to know, at the boatyard, Hallman told us northern guys to take it easy on him. So I threw 2 fish back the second day just so you could beat me, Hallman, and you still couldn't get it done.
Oh man! Listen, Brad, what is your goal to get into the elites again? Like doing the Northerns or doing the Opens, or what's your goal to fishing these Opens?
110% made the elite. There's 3 spots out of 225 guys, and I definitely do not need you to remind me that like last week it will never my lifetime. I get that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know it's terrible. I do. I'll be honest with you. So when the purchase happened at FLW, I'm a 5-fish guy. I like big fish, and I've got buddies over there. I mean, like I just knew it wasn't for me, and I knew that the Opens were going to be an uphill battle. They've been a little bit more of an uphill battle than what I expected with 225 boat fields every single event.
and PFL.
But
What? That's okay.
right. I don't know, dude. Like I knew what I was up against. I've been doing this a long time, just like you have, right? And I knew what it was. My wife actually told me that I would never make it through points. She said you'll probably like win one, and then you'll get a shot at Classic. You win then, or you're probably in. So
Thanks.
maybe
honey.
that's my deal. That's 50 guys in a derby, and that's probably more realistic. I don't care how I get there. But that's what I'm here for.
Shout out to his wife.
Yeah, shout out to Dondi.
Yeah, you're never gonna do it. Probably never.
Not in points, no.
Oh.
Well, that's depressing.
No, it's not. I mean, dude, there's 220 damn boats. Like, do you realize you got to beat 180 guys just to get a damn check?
He probably needs like 205 years. And
100.
odds.
Look, when you get 180 guys in most dirt, you win. They give you a trophy, a big check, even if it's a $5,000 check if you're at home. Whatever. 100 guys, do you not win? I mean, you guys, when you beat 180 guys, how many times you go home without a big?
True.
I like your positive optimism. No, I'm serious. I do. I wish I could stay that positive, man. After that tournament, I wanted to sell my boat and take up golf, and I hate golf.
It was bad.
Yeah, I think with 225 boats, more people golfing. That's a lot.
All right, so Brad, question for you. What would you do differently if you were back on the James against 225? You had one more shot at this.
Dude, I ain't, man, I was in the last mile and a half of the upper Chickahominy. I had 17 bites the last day of practice flipping in those pads, grass, whatever you want to call them. I guess they're pads. They're not really pads. I don't know what y'all call them. They're not lily pads. Some kind of pad, but they're not lily pads.
Maxi.
Well, they're kind of long and rectangular. Anyway.
You're talking about arrowheads?
No.
He's talking about the lily
not
pads.
a real.
Oh, not a real round lily pad. Yeah.
Shoulder.
When that thing went off, and it was the same way in practice, there wasn't very many guys doing it. I had two or three hitchhiker on hearing like they're ripping take your bait. So I wouldn't do a whole lot different. I mean, it didn't work out. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's cold front. I don't know. They were spawning in those pads.
Did the tide play any factor on your bites?
Yeah, my tide was, you know how that shit is. Like, dude, you get bit. Whatever is opposite of what you need is how you seem to get bites in practice, right? You guys understand that? And it seemed to be that way for me. It seemed to be better because they're spawning, and so they're moving up. And you guys know a lot of those pads at low tide, there's no water in them at all. So those fish were leaving their beds and then coming back as the tide would rise, and then the high tide. We basically tide turn. But I was able to get bites at low tide also in practice. It wasn't as consistent, but it was good. And anyway, it didn't work out, right? Just like, and I don't know the reasons. That's the problem. I don't know the reasons. But day two, I didn't even do that at all. I just took off down the James, someplace I've never seen before. I pulled in a place, caught a little limit, and thought, well, hey, today's going to be better. And then I never caught another bass the rest of the day. Not mention, size-wise.
Right on. Well, dang. Well, listen, I'm going to let Gary and JP and Tom move on with their lives. We're going to kind of do a little after hours and get inside of BTC's brain, play a little catch up with Brad. Again, Gary, good job, man. Hope for the best. Obviously we all want you to do well moving forward, but man, it's JP and Tom's time to shine at the Oneida one. Let's get it going, right, guys?
Yeah, man.
Before I let you three go, I have a serious question. I'm going to start with Tom. I need you to answer this truthfully, okay? Are you Are you part of the Freemasons? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. No. JP?
I don't know what it is.
Gary?
Oh my God. I need some more whiskey.
What was that, Gary? No?
No.
Okay.
What is it?
BTC?
All right, I got things, maybe three before you do your sign off.
Okay.
All right. Number one, the Freemasons conversation is going to get dusty as F later tonight. Tune in. Stay tuned. Woo.
There you go.
Omni, what do you do for a living? Do you have intensity high? Like your synapses are fucking firing, bro. You're selling shit. What's going on? What do you do?
That's what I do, man. That's what I sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that, man. You're a fucking salesman, dude. You're lit.
Hey, listen, man, I'm not the only one. Epic Eric's over here selling shit every day.
Well, I know what he's on. You know what I mean? And then the other one was, what was our trivia? We have a trivia question for the panel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Your trivia question.
Oh,
Brad's like shit. I drank too much. I forgot that question.
Good trivia question. So when I was like 13, I had a couple of older sisters. They took me to Nashville, Tennessee, to a concert. Metallica had just released Master of Puppets. So like you guys that are younger on this, you won't get it. You guys that are older, like
Tom's got he knows.
All right, so
I see it in his eyes. He's on it.
Hey, no cheating, fellas. Don't go looking this shit up.
Opening band.
Tom's Googling right now.
Opening band for Metallica in Nashville, Tennessee, and I don't know what year this was, but it was Master, whatever year that was released. None of us had ever heard of it. Probably 90% of the stadium. And Brian's trying to figure this out right now. I hadn't told him who it was yet, but by the end of the opening band's encore was screaming for that band to come back out, and none of us had ever heard of them. Who was that band?
Who opened up for Metallica?
Metallica,
Yeah.
Master of Puppets album.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Jethro Tull.
Elton John.
No, come on, man.
I don't know.
Gary.
White Snake.
White Snake.
I love it.
What? White Snake wouldn't have been the opening for Metallica.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
Deftones. No.
Motor Breath. So these are all guesses from the panel, not us, but from the chat.
Oh, Black Crows.
No, I got, here's my guess. Disturbed.
Ooh.
That would have been too early, I think. Master of Puppets. Yeah.
Oh,
Concerts, you see a band open up. How many times are they the band?
Godsmack.
Oh, good
That's
guess.
early, dude.
System of a Down.
Early.
Guys, like how many guesses do we get?
All right, we all lost.
We're out.
Travis's live stream. We got 5 hours with the guy.
Brad, I will say that I was listening to that album on the way
Ozzy
to
Osbourne.
day one of the James.
Really? Metallica, Master of Puppets? That's a good one.
Slayer.
No.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh my God.
Alice in Chains.
Give it up, man.
Yeah, tell us.
What is it?
Yeah, without being too obvious, band y'all have named. Their success is larger than any band y'all have named, which would make sense why 90% of the freaking stadium was screaming their name off and nobody knew who they were.
Oh, I got it.
Korn?
Leonard Skinner.
MC Bubblicious Fish Eyes.
Jungle and the entire team were screaming GNR, GNR, GNR before Metallica.
Guns N' Roses. No kidding.
Yeah,
Guns N' Roses. How about that?
Wow.
out, dude.
How about it?
Okay.
Chris Birch got it. Guns N' Roses. Chris Birch. Good job, Chris.
Who's Chris?
Some guy in the comments. He put Guns N' Roses at 10:01.
Yeah. Chris, send Travis. Show up at Travis's house. Travis, give me your address.
We were there in Montreal when they almost burned down Montreal because of the Metallica and Guns N' Roses.
Jeez. All right, guys. All right, Gary, JP, Tom, thanks for hanging out
Great
with us
seeing you
tonight.
guys again, man.
Later. Yep, see you, Eric.
All right,
See you
man,
next
guys.
one. Stay home and see you up north.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
JP's funny. Oh, man.
So,
Well,
Whew, what a day.
we got a question.
we made it.
We do. We got a question for you. Seriously, like Travis, we got a question for you.
Okay.
You sent a text earlier tonight, like, "Hey, we're going to go on such and such time.
Yep.
I've got dinner with the boys."
Okay.
Our question is, when you send a text that says, "Hey, I got dinner with the boys," we're wondering who the boys are and what the term "the boys" pertain to.
Good, Travis. Who was the boys?
Will, my boy Will, and Eric, and Roland Martin, and
Even
Jimmy
say it.
Houston.
Don't you even say it. Are you going to try to say, "Oh, I'm going with the boys, Jimmy and Roland"?
Hey, Roland's my boy. All right. Did we not connect
How
in the boat
dare
today?
you? You have some respect, son. You don't call him the boys. That's a legend. Eric, back
Sorry.
me up on this shit.
I got you, man.
I'm a
No,
dick.
you say I'm going to dinner with the legends, Will and Eric.
Yeah, the legends. That's,
I got this text. I showed it to Brad. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Tell me this motherfucker's calling Jimmy and Roland the boys. Like, he's tripping. This dude's off his damn rocker.
Hey, did you guys go fishing today, by the way?
Oh, fishing?
Yeah,
fishing.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
How'd the flats treat you, man?
Oh, I got stuck. So let me this is a great story, dude. I've been waiting all day for tonight, dude, because you're really going
Was
to
it a blowout tie?
never been to the Chesapeake Bay ever. I've had whiskey. So I unload, and Pete's got a guide trip today, right? With this guy that big super fan, and Pete's really high on him. Pete's wanting to spend time with him.
Dale Jr.
Okay.
And Dale Jr. is very entertaining.
Dale's awesome.
Dale's awesome guy. He's got the hair. He's got the beard. He showed me his Forrest Gump look. Forrest was running at the end of the evening, and he's identical. Spit
You got this? You got that in your picture?
No, it was on your phone, wasn't it? Wasn't on my phone.
Yeah. Oh,
wasn't on my phone.
well, we're on my phone.
Oh, we can't use it because I don't have it. So, anyway, he is a spitting image of the running Forrest Gump. But
I was running.
So BTC here, he was like not missing this, right? Like he's like home and yawn for a while. And I'm good. I've been around the block. I'm gonna go fishing. So I idle out of that takeoff, whatever. And I'm looking around the docks and the seawalls, and I'm like, man, they freaking crush them here every time. Like it's all I read about. So I kind of cheated. I thought that my boy Brian Schmidt was driving today, but he was actually first day of practice in the Elite Series. So I'm bugging him on the phone while he's trying to practice his bill. And I'm like, hey, dude, you got it. Where the hell am I going on this play? Because I ain't got nobody in the boat with me and I'm solo. So he actually takes the time at practice at Gunnersville to zoom out, zoom back in on the bay, and send me a couple digits. What I didn't tell him is that it's the bottom of the low tide.
Oh, no.
Hour going out, and it's a low one. Well, he sends me digits out there on the flats 10 miles from takeoff. Well, me being from Oklahoma, like I ain't scared to run nothing. So no stumps, out of sight, out of mind. So I run my grass at 5 foot, then it's at 4 foot. Then it's at 3 foot. For you guys that don't know, it's not like 3 foot for a second or two. I'm talking minutes. At 50 miles an hour, it's at
Oh, yeah.
2 foot for minutes.
Here it comes.
Then I know because I've done this enough. I'm like, it's 2 foot right now because I'm on pad, but when I come off, it's going to be like 6 inches.
It's going to be none.
You just went straight to the coordinates. You didn't like go around.
Nope.
And, I was thinking to myself, there's still another hour of tide going out, and like if you bottom out right here, you're gonna be stuck here all day. So
did you have enough sense to keep going and not come off pad?
No, I let off of it because I had been at 2 foot for so long. I was like, I could probably get out on my trolling motor, and I still had another hour of tide going out. Ooh. So I let off of it. But here was the problem. I let off, and then you know how things are up here. It's larger than it appears on a map. So I moved my little cursor over to where the waypoint was that he gave me, and I was thinking that it was like a few feet, That thing was 1.3 freaking miles. Inches of water. I'm like, damn, this is not good. Not good. But I wasn't stuck, I didn't flower pot the thing out there on the flats. But
that's good.
It took me hours, and I was playing it down, dude, like completely. Like I wasn't texting him, panicking. I wasn't texting Brian. Like I let Brian practice. I just stood on my trolling motor, and I don't know why I was casting, but I was trying to sight fish as the sun was coming up because I could see every dang thing down there 3 inches deep. And I got my trolling motor up under channel locks, and it was touch and go for a while. I was thinking, man, I could get stuck up here even with my trolling motor with the tide going out. And I hit a little ditch when I got to the waypoint, and I caught a couple of bass.
Hey!
I caught a couple. And about the time he's texting me, I'm like, man, I was thinking, dude, I'm lost. You and Pete might have to come get me. And then I was like, hey, I just found some grass. So the text was, I found some grass. I'm good.
It was also you sent me a pin.
I did send him a pin as far as where I was located. He sent me a smiley face and was like, I hope you're not stuck.
It's like, dude, you went out there already? Did you flower pot?
Wow.
I'm ran straight out there, but
that's awesome, man.
He's like
a dirt dauber. He's a dirt dauber. He's not scared.
No, but I wouldn't know how to get out there. Dude, that thing's 10 miles from takeoff. It's a long ways. Like you wouldn't just find that on your own.
No,
yeah, true.
Like, yeah, I just ran out here found a ditch and some grass, caught some bass. Like, yeah, who'd you call?
Yeah,
you ain't that good. He ain't got the the wands that find the water. Nah.
Oh, yeah, divining rods.
Hey, by the way, you guys look cute tonight, matching. It's like, is this your first date or what?
I mean, dude,
it is.
I mean,
first date.
Really?
Yeah,
nice.
We met. This is crazy.
Where's the boys at, Trev?
All right, for the first today.
Oh, hell no.
Such a dick.
Oh no, wait. So I changed the background.
We actually met this morning. That's even better. It was like in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like love at first sight, man. That's pretty cool.
All right. Throbbing, if you will. Carry on. Eric, how was your day?
Yeah.
It was really unbelievable.
You probably already talked about it with the earlier.
No, man. We set out with Travis architected this 60 fish in an hour challenge
With
Roland Martin. So Travis and I attempted, what was our number that we attempted a couple years back in the same area?
About 50 fish an hour.
50 fish an hour. Just us two. And the day before, we had a jerkbait bite that was off the chain. I was throwing a mega bass flap slap, and they were just choking the bait. We burnt a lot of fish the day before to do the challenge, but we were so confident in the number of smallmouth there that we thought we could pull it off. What did we get to, like 38 or something like that?
Yeah, we fell short.
We did fall short, but still pretty incredible for two guys in an hour.
Yeah.
So Travis is going 3. We could do 60. And the numbers just weren't there. Respectable. What do we end up with?
56.
55.
55.
We took a video of the fish counter. 55 in an hour, so 5 short of the goal. And yeah, it was it's pretty good, man. Pretty good. And then we explored 7 ways to fish a Senko. BTC. 7 ways to fish a Senko. Can you name 7 ways to fish a Senko?
Yes.
Oh, yes. No problem.
Yes. No.
All right. What do you got? Go. Just start spitballing.
Dean rig.
Dean rig.
What? Dean rig. Yep.
Explain.
Wacky. Texas.
Wacky.
Elevated.
Yep.
Not at all. Don't want to. Could give a shit. Rather do something else.
Oh.
That's 7.
Okay.
That's perfect. Bradley, what do you got? 7 ways to fish a Senko. Are you with BTC? You'd rather not?
Same as him. Yeah.
Dang. How about that?
Wow.
Frog, jig, chatterbait.
I really enjoy throwing a Senko. There's nothing like that little tick, especially on a bait caster when you're throwing it wacky rig. That little tick, and then you set into them. Come on, bro.
Yeah, but there's also this. There's also, so at the end of today, we did a challenge. Me and Brad versus the Dean and the Dale. So we had like an hour and a half out there to fish on the flat without really having any fish marked. And, you know, the bite right now, they're kind of like spawning. So you're pretty much stuck throwing a soft plastic. Doesn't have to be a Senko. Could be another soft plastic rigged another way. Travis, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. I know
yeah.
But to fish out there where you really don't have them pinpointed and the clock's ticking and you're trying to cover water to find them, that's not awesome. Awesome at all. That's like the flat's huge. Check cast there, over there.
Uh-huh.
We did kind of have it. Like the flats had no grass on them whatsoever, and then we were in a ditch that was not much wider than maybe 2 boats.
Yeah,
like,
ditch.
Yeah, it was. It was right back to where the waypoint was. We went there.
It's a short ditch.
We won.
So there.
We won the Derby.
We did. We beat
Nice.
So there isn't a whole lot of good grass on the flats. Is that what you're telling me? I haven't been out there in a week.
Yeah, they're pretty barren.
Okay.
The water. I trolled across the entire freaking thing, dude. I can tell you they're barren. Barren as shit.
But clear water?
As clear as it can be.
Nah.
Well, there's some.
It could be clear.
Oh, this morning at low tide, it was as clear as it could be. I could see the waves, ripples in the sand. It was like being on the damn moon. That's what I was explaining earlier. I was like, dude, you don't really understand because like you're from here and you've been out here and like you get the idea, but first, he sent me a text that said that they were up in the Susquehanna. Is that correct? Susquehanna?
I thought.
How do you say it, though?
I thought we were running.
Just say Susky. Susky if you're cool with the boys. If you're part of the boys, you say Susky.
He was 7 or 8 miles up, and he sends me a waypoint. I said, I'm out here on this flat. I'm good. You know, I'll catch up with y'all in a little bit. I'm just trying to be a big boy and be cool, you know. But the truth was, I was out there on my trolling motor wondering how the hell I was going to get off this flat. And
that's awesome.
I finally get off of it like 2 hours in. I mean, I'm talking 2 hours on my trolling motor at low tide, and maybe 2 and a half. maybe 3. It was a long time. I was glad I charged my stuff the night before. But anyway, I get off of it. So then I'm still not going to call and cry. So I just run to the waypoint at the top end of the Sasquatch-Hannah. And then I don't bass cat it.
That's why.
And Brian in it. So
Dale Jr.
I text him. I actually texted him before I made the run and said, "Are you still in the river?" And he didn't respond. So I just ran it instead of being a crybaby because I didn't want to get in their way. So I get to the top of it. And he's like, "Nah, bro, we're down on the flat now."
Oh my God.
So I had to turn around, come back down. I mean, that river up there looks like someplace you would go like salmon fishing or something, you know, like it looks like a Yeti would come out from behind a tree and grab you or hang off one of them 25 bridges that I went underneath. You know?
Oh, that's funny, man.
One bridges is pointed. Have y'all ever noticed that? Like the columns of the bridge on the upriver side have very sharp Masonic points.
Yeah, it's part of the Freemasons. They built
Masonic symbols.
They did it. They did it for breaking ice, man. Breaking ice. It's an icebreaker bridge, bro.
It's not an icebreaker.
Oh, it
bridge.
is, man.
I think
Travis.
I think he's right. I do. I think it's
an icebreaker bridge, dude. What? I mean, seriously, you
ain't getting chunks of ice.
That is an
in the Susquehanna like that.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not.
100%.
You driving trucks on the ice? You ice fishing? You bring your auger out?
This ain't Wisconsin.
That ain't ice then. Anyways,
ice, dude. It's I'm just saying that it's abnormal. Like you don't see that everywhere. Because first I was looking at it thinking, man, that's pretty small for current. And then I was like, oh, it's because it gets so damn cold up here. They got to do that for ice.
Boom.
Doesn't get that cold.
Oh, it's frozen over before.
Okay.
Yeah,
it has not.
100%.
Yeah, we got
frozen over before. The Brotomic.
Okay.
Absolutely, man. Truth. Seriously, cold winters. $2 for the Susquehanna.
Yeah.
We got
it,
Gary.
The Satanic Bridge.
The signs are everywhere.
It kind of looks like it when you're up there. It's kind of like Death Valley. I told him. I actually said this to him when I found him. I was like, "Hey, dude, I ain't trying to be like crybaby, but like when you run up there, it's kind of like you died." And you're headed up that alley and you don't know if it's heaven or hell at the other end because it kind of looks like that. Like, because you got those walls, you know, on both sides, those mountains and like, you know, summertime up here. I mean, it's still pretty cool.
Walls made out of masonry.
Well, there's a quarry where all the Freemasons get their.
Evan Garrick's going to throw.
Guys, this is an inside joke. BTC sent me an eye-opening video yesterday. And I was glued to it for 5 hours, and I can't shake it.
Hold on. You did that for me on the ride up? He woke me up to go, I got one question for you. I'd fished 2 days of tournaments. I drove from North Carolina straight. I'm working on no hours of sleep. I get in the truck. I'm just looking forward to going to sleep at 1:30 in the morning. And he goes, before we start this trip, I have a serious question for you, Eric, and I need you to be truthful. And I go, what, dude? I'll tell you straight. He goes, are you a Freemason? I go, no, motherfucker, Freemason. Now get out of my face and let me sleep. Seriously, dude, you got to tell me the truth. Are you a Freemason? I said, no, bitch, Freemason's mine from this self-destructive thinking you got going on, man. You're killing me.
Hey,
see, Eric agrees with me.
Oh, my God, yeah. Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who else is as much on Eric's team?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Y'all are.
Listen, I'm not even saying I know. I don't even know. I just, hey, what do you think?
I heard him bitching about.
I can't say I know, but you made the best point ever, and this is what I've been trying to explain to Travis,
and you went off, bro.
Which is, what does it matter, and what are you doing about it?
All right.
And how are you changing your life, man? You're not. So what?
Fine.
Exactly. Little people, giants buried in I don't know where across the country.
They're in Kentucky and Tennessee, and they're 3 foot. There's a mass grave of 250,000 of them, a whole different race. Like, why doesn't anyone ask, who the fuck were these people?
Put my glasses on, and
history erases it, man. The Smithsonian comes in, takes all the evidence, buries everything. Hold on.
It's just went haywire,
And-
guys. I'm gonna go look at baits. Travis, your show tonight, man. Enjoy the show, everybody. I'm out. It was awesome fishing with Jimmy.
Eric, don't do it. Eric,
What do you mean, man?
I'm done. I'm done.
We
I'll be
just
fine.
fished with a legend, and I'm gonna get sucked into this conversation. No, I got baits to look at. I got colors to do. Will and I are working on some magic baits right now. Different colors of this freaking toad. That's what I want to talk about. How about you all? Take a vote. Sound off, everybody, in the comments, man, because you know what? I'm not doing it.
I'm with you.
I thought our day was very harmonious. We fished with a legend. We got things to talk about, man. I don't mind you interjecting.
I'm fine.
Occasionally, but
You're the one that brought up the little people in the Giants.
No, it was me, probably. I didn't know people Giants, but I was definitely poking, prodding.
Man, he was going off on the way up. I mean, like sounding off on 10 new topics with me. 10. And some old ones too. I'd wake up, the truck would bump and stuff. Like I'm in Ram at this point, right? And then we're going through, like, there were 4 times where we were somewhere where we shouldn't have been. I can't see we're on the main road. I don't know what he was doing. I was in a mental fog, and then he would go off on a topic. And then I'd fall back asleep, and I'd wake up, and he'd talk about another topic. Pissed off as a freaking fire ant that just got stepped on. I don't even know, man. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I fished with a legend today. I shared a bed fish with freaking Roland Martin. We worked it together. We teamworked that bed fish.
Yeah.
Hey, what is the board?
That was awesome. Man, Travis was like Hawkeye, man. We'd be going down to bed. We were in these little ditches and canals off this little backwater area, you know, where there's largemouth, and trying to make Roland feel like he was at home in Florida.
Yeah.
And Travis goes, there's one. There's one. And so Roland got first shot. He was catching them all, right? So the last fish of the day, Will literally fires his shotgun 4 times because he wants to go to dinner while we're trying to focus. And I think it made Roland flinch, and he pitched his freaking trick worm into the tree where the bedfish is. And so he's trying to get it out. He's trying to get it out. And then finally breaks it. He goes, your turn. So I take my buddy's bait.
The video's coming out.
Yo, you got it. I know it's on film. Yeah. Jimmy Big Time Baits, man. I took his little crawl bait, man. June bug, green pumpkin, laminate. And I pitch it. I go, I'm going to get this fish angry, man. So I like pitch it in there. I got my 3/8 ounce weight. I got my finesse flipping hook. I got 22-pound shooter. I'm like, boom. I hit the fish in the head, hit her in the tail, liner. And I mean, like rapid fire. Boom, 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 boom. Finally, man, she spins on it and eats it. And I go to set the hook, and there's Travis with a Ned rig. And we like sword touch. And I thought I broke my G Loomis on his freaking Legend Extreme.
Right. And
he goes, oh, I'm sorry. Was I in your way? I'm like, bitch, you know I swing this way. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of my way. Because Will's like, I think Will's going to shoot me at this point because he's pissed off and hungry. Right. So I pitch back, miss her. She steals my bait. Put one more on, man. She's so fired up. She eats it, and I catch her and land her. Now, that's teamwork. He saw her.
Yeah.
I mean, we did that how many times?
Well,
5.
Yeah.
5 bass. You looked at 5 bass. You found them for us. Well, I caught the first one blind casting.
Yeah.
You would have never caught the fish if Roland hadn't warmed her up for you.
Oh, he did, man. He loosened her up. He oiled her right up, man.
No,
sure.
You would have never caught that fish if Roland didn't cast in the tree.
You're right about that. I'm glad Will fired into the air.
And Roland went to cast in the tree if Will didn't bring a shotgun on the boat.
Exactly. Boom, 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 boom.
So let me get this straight. Roland's 70 years old and caught every fish.
82.
81.
82 years old, caught every fish in the country 5 times. And he still won't give the guy behind him like fish number 5 or 6.
He's 81.
Oh.
Yeah.
Travis was treating him like a king, the king he is, and the legend he is.
I was very respectable.
But, like, I just reference it because I'm used to fishing with Ike, and it's like, yeah, you caught the first 3, in front of the boat, fishing jig. You got first shot to cover. You just caught 5. That's cool, Hey, that's about me. I just took off and worked today. He did this. We won.
Somebody just said.
I fished the entire day on the Chesapeake Bay. 20-pound bags everywhere. Like 3-pounders are just abound. Yeah, I never caught one over 15 inches all day long. Not one.
Well,
if you called me, I would have given you a different mark, Bradley. It weren't where you were.
Let the mark was obviously all right because he caught 3 pretty nice ones out of it.
It's a good ditch, no doubt about it. I'm sure because there's bigger ditches than that one. I'm not. He said you to a sneaky ditch, which is pretty generous, I'd say.
Yeah. We're pretty tight. He probably
It's not the main ditch.
Yeah. Pete was wanting in on the ditch too. He was like, "Hey."
Oh, I'm sure.
No.
Oh yeah, we all want that. Yep.
I know what ditch you were on. It was the same one that Ike and BTC and I fished last year. I'm sure.
Probably.
Yes, Travis, you're right.
Am I?
Yes.
See, he knows, and he didn't even have the digits. He's just fishing.
Well, I don't have the digits, but I could look around. I looked at the sun, and I did like that. Yeah.
Tacklecraft just renamed this channel Masonic Crush.
Yes. Tacklecraft's been on a roll tonight.
Yes, man. Tacklecraft.
Hey, so I sent an
God.
Instagram story with Roland Martin in the back of the boat. So Tacklecraft responds, "What a dickhead! You don't even let Roland fish in the front of the boat." I'm like, "Come on."
He was in the front all day.
So I showed him
Travis had to post a story where the one time he's in the back because he was changing baits,
and I showed,
and he posted that story.
Yeah. You two dickheads put Roland Martin on the back of the boat.
What's up, Will?
I was standing back there with a GoPro all day.
Yo,
dang.
Hey, BTC.
Yes.
Roland mentioned he thought he was fishing with you and Ike.
Yes.
Are you coming up?
Yes. So.
Damn, I wish I could stay.
So Ike didn't give me the confirmation until yesterday, Sunday. How long have we been like trying to get this thing lined up? A month?
Yeah, maybe
Right.
even longer.
So fucking Ike didn't give me the confirmation that yes, this is a go until yesterday.
Oh.
I got a lot on my life. So long story short, today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday. Long day work, best you. We're leaving Wednesday morning, sometime in the wee hours.
Okay.
I still haven't told my wife.
Oh boy.
Ouch.
Dude, he hasn't said nothing to her yet.
No.
Nothing.
You better take her to dinner, do something nice for her.
And I get damn.
I don't know what my move is. I'm not ready. Guys, anybody on YouTube, guys, you got suggestions on how do I yeah, so by the way,
I would say, listen, honey, I have a chance to fish with a legend, with another legend, Ike and Ellie, and we're gonna film some shows up in the Promised Land.
Honey, I get to not go make money today to go fish with my rich friend again. Honey, I'm gonna go not make money.
Hey, honey, remember last time I went up there and I dropped that phone and it caused a lot of headaches because I had to bother you and you had to go look for a new phone for me while I was up here, and we were kind of brainstorming about, how am I supposed to call back my clients the next day and all that work you've done. Yeah, she probably wouldn't like that.
Nah, dude, I'm screwed.
I get it.
The comments are crazy tonight. This is all I got to say. It's awesome, man.
This
Bradley.
Yes, sir.
Where do you hail from, my friend? Where's home?
Norman, Oklahoma.
Okay. So what's your home lake?
Well, I consider anything inside the border of Oklahoma my home lake because Grand Lake's like 3 hours, Texoma's 2, Eufaula's 2, so that's
Okay.
Oklahoma City, Norman is kind of in the central, well, it's dead center of the state, but
Yeah.
all of our waters are really in the eastern part.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good haul to all of them.
Right on. Right on. Cool, man.
Oh, that's good.
Cool. We got a chance to hang out with OT Fears a little bit. That was kind of fun.
When were y'all with OT?
He's here too,
now.
as a matter of fact.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's here. Yep.
How about Jiminy?
Jiminy's here too. He was eating at the restaurant we were talking on the live.
Was OT in a good mood or a bad mood?
He seemed like he was quiet.
He was quiet, but I was talking to him about his career in bass. And
Is he a quiet guy?
He seems like he's in a bad mood most of his career, yes.
Okay.
with a name like OT Fears?
Yeah. He's always kind of been grumpy.
Okay.
Okay.
Like Tom,
Like me.
Tommy Biffle's like flowers and freaking sunshine.
Yeah, funny
Compared
story,
to him?
guys. So Brad had some trolling motor issues on day one of the opens, and me and Matt were talking. I'm like, is anything wrong? Like, is anything wrong? And Matt's like, yeah, it looks like he has mechanical issues. I go, well, are you going to ask him? He's like, no, let's just let him deal with it. Right. And I go, well, something ain't right. He's digging in his fucking toolbox. And so you're kind of messing around out there, and then you get up and you start talking. And you're really calm, bro, with like 20 minutes before takeoff and your shit's not working. I would have been the guy yelling, hey, this fucking thing ain't working. What do? I got to take off in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get to my fish. I would be doing stuff like that, dude. You did nothing like that. You just tied up to the dock. You got on the phone. You got the guy down there at the dock, and you troubleshot it. We had a fog delay. So I would have been freaking, dude. And you just looked at me. I asked him, weren't you like nervous? Aren't you mad? He's like, no, dude.
Well, let me just tell you the difference between you and Mr. Hallman. So we're driving up, and I'm awake at this point. Travis has fixed me a coffee with some dairy-free product in it. Tasted kind of funky, but I drank it. It got me square. And Travis goes, you know what? He goes, I've been thinking about a new boat lately. Now, he just got his nitro. He goes, that rub rail is really bothering me. He goes, so I think I want a new Phoenix. And I was thinking that would make me happy. And I said, motherfucker, if a rub rail with 3 scratches got you fucked up, nothing's going to make you happy, bitch. Shut up and drive. I said, no, it's a bass boat. It's a tool. I have to give him some credit, though. As much as I'm busting on him right now, he was taking that trolling motor in the dirt. I mean, it has 500 pounds of electronics on the front of the boat, 2 Garmin's, 1 360. It's 3 transducers on the trolling motor, and it's a long shaft.
Right.
So when I say dirt daubing, we're dirt daubing in 3 foot of water. we're in 3 foot, and it's grinding, BTC. There's no way to raise it up. And that's with channel locks in it.
Yeah. So,
anyways, you threw it out the window, man. You had the boat rubbing on stuff.
I was trying to get the legend on some fish. No, that's what I came away with. He was very calm, where it was just very unusual. So you seem like you're mild tempered, right? Like, or do you have a wild side out there?
You've seen it tonight already. Yeah. No, I have it. These are the things that I've learned. Like both of you guys, dude. This is not my first rodeo. It doesn't do any good for anybody in any circumstance in life, right? To get, I don't care if somebody's dying in front of you, murdered, whatever. Like, it is what it is, and you handle it better the calmer you stay.
For sure.
I knew, felt like, right? I felt like, well, what I knew for sure was that I'm sponsored by Garmin. I run Garmin products, and Garmin is on site at the Bassmaster Opens. I knew that for a fact. So I know that I'm going to get help, and I know I'm going to be fishing at some point today. I also knew that I was boat 220 something out of 225.
Yeah.
And then I also felt very strongly there was probably going to be a fog delay. My biggest concern was really just being able to find a parking spot with 225 boats against the dock so I could do some mechanical work. Also knew that a couple of buddies, that were sitting real close. So, I mean, I had everything in my favor. It sucks. I mean, when you drop your boat and your trolling motor doesn't work and you're fixing to fish a 2-day derby, that's not good, right?
Right. Yeah.
But like I say, I had all those things in my favor, and I knew that it was going to work out one way or another. And we all know that even if it took an hour and a half and I had to put it back on a trailer, I'm still going to get to fish, and I've got a long day, right? I got a 5 o'clock weigh-in, so yeah, it was going to work out. I just didn't know how we were going to get there to that point.
I got you.
And I do feel like, we all get, when I was younger, you get a little more, but it doesn't, none of that helps the situation. So I tried to be, you know the deal. So I didn't mean to be like over calm about it. I was definitely concerned, but
sure.
You're sitting there thinking, these are things you're thinking. You're thinking of all the days I've dropped this trolling motor to water. It's been working for the last 100
Yeah,
days.
right.
Hey, but
yeah,
that was picked, man, and like it's just part of it.
Hey, man, I took one of my best college classes that I ever took. It was Dr. Allen taught it, and it was controlling stress and tension. And he said your reaction to a situation won't change it.
Yeah.
Not to say you can't let anger out, but it doesn't change what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
You're still sitting in that predicament,
Yeah.
right? Your trolling motor doesn't work.
Also,
Now what are you going to do?
there was a point this week when Panger and Upshaw and I were just trying to go eat dinner, and I think I tried to throw my cell phone through the windshield of my truck. Yeah, I didn't want to get there on tournament day because we all know how important that day is to all of us. So I can't let that side of me get me. You know what I mean? But I definitely got that side. Dude, I've got a cracked windshield. This is no joke. And I wouldn't say this.
Got a cracked windshield. I saw it.
Yeah, it's because my cell phone, my iPhone, I tried to throw it through it. And then when the iPhone didn't break and the windshield did, I threatened the iPhone. You can ask Panger about this. I threatened when we got to a park where we were going to go, I was going to get it out and stomp it in the ground too. So it would be broke as long as I was so damn mad I couldn't see straight.
Respect.
That makes me want to bite this frog in half right now. Dang.
Dude, what happened to the bear?
What bear?
Hey, we had a baby bear.
Huggy bear.
Huggy bear. It was going to be a lure. We found it on the ramp this morning.
What?
It was a bear, a plastic like a last
It was like a
bear,
Last
like a
Tech.
lure.
Yeah.
What? You could have clipped pieces off of it, and the arms could have been fat Senkos.
It looked like this. Look, this is the size of palm of my hand.
We don't
The
show
fuck is
that.
But it's a blob of it's like what my kids would play with. We don't show it.
Yeah.
It smells like.
We all have been here fondling baits while we're talking.
Baits
He's
too.
been twirling a tube, and that sounds weird. And that Ned rig, yeah. And I can't stop touching this frog. I don't know what's
Once
going
you
on.
start touching plastic, it's hard to stop.
It is, man. I can't wait.
All that.
That Yamma Jam is going to get it done.
You can keep that smell.
Oh, where's that
BTC.
tube? Where's that tube? I want to show a tube. So Will's got a tube coming as well, right there. Where's that tube, Travis?
Just had it.
Hold on, Brad. You broke up. What was that?
This is a little private.
Okay,
I want to talk around the subject. So the last time that I saw you in person, and you know what I'm talking about,
1912.
I was old, dude. Like, get out of the way. I knew you needed work. And then when I was like 30 minutes after that, and I'm like, hey, dude, I'm trying to roll. And you're like, no big deal, man. Nobody's in a hurry. I ain't got no place to be. And I'm thinking, the hell he don't. He's ready to get up here. Dude, I was trying to go. And I couldn't, you know the deal. I tried to roll 30 minutes before that. As soon as I saw you pull up, I was trying to roll.
And then he sent his buddy over to circle around your Cypress thing with his troll motor.
Yeah. Prick.
Should we talk about that?
I already did.
Damn it.
What's his name? The guy that's in the top 10, Williamson.
He was top 10?
Yeah, he caught 10-pounder on day 2 and made the cut.
10-pounder.
Wow, 10-pound Tom. What's his name?
He only had 10 pounds the day before.
What was his name?
Something Williams' son or something. Who?
Scooter knows him.
David Williams?
I don't know. Whoever's in the top 10.
You don't know who David Williams is?
It was
No.
Dick.
David's from North Carolina.
Yeah, that's him.
No way. He wasn't there, I don't think, was he?
It wasn't Dave Williams.
David freaking catches are freaking real.
Dave wouldn't have done that shit.
No, Dave wouldn't have. Dave's an older guy, and he just pulls in and just whoops ass and leaves.
Yeah, Dave.
No, I'm pretty sure it was
All right,
him.
well, Travis checks it. I'm going to show you guys the
Hey,
Geico Baits new tube, guys. Check this thing out, man. I really like it.
He's
Will,
not right.
this
Who
looks
the
like
fuck is in top 10?
this looks like a hand cut tail, but it's not.
No.
They're perfect.
Good shit. 18 legs, Travis, didn't believe me.
18 legs,
18
an injected
legs. That's the right tube.
tube bait with 18 legs. You've never seen it before, folks. When are you dropping these?
What?
That's the hard part. I'm still waiting for them
It's
to
a
fix the
legit
mold.
tube.
Yeah, he's getting a new mold made.
I don't know who's in the top 10.
Let me know when
Watch
you
for
got purple.
We were cracking them on this today,
When
man.
you got what?
Smoke purple and motor oil.
Smoke purple for sure. Motor oil. BTC requesting motor oil. He shoots motor oil. There's not many companies that'll do it. But we'll
BTC,
make
you're
motor
coming
oil.
up Wednesday, and when are you going home?
Friday, Thursday. You're doing like we are, 24 hours.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of fun, man. They're biting.
They are biting good.
Tell the boys we're coming.
I will.
So what happens? If we don't let you go home early?
Tommy Williams.
I was I have a guy trip Wednesday, and I called him because I was going to see if I could push him back a week later because I wanted to stay up here another day. And he called and he's like, "Oh, my son's looking so forward to going out fishing. And that's all he's been talking about all week." So at that point, I didn't even ask. I didn't even bring it up. I'm like, "We'll see you Wednesday, buddy. Looking forward to it." But I would love to stay another day, but that's all right.
Yeah.
You should stay another day, dude.
I know.
You should.
Once in a lifetime opportunity to fish with BTC up here,
100%. You should stay. I'm not lying, dude. Like when you're an old man and you're laying in that hospital, that one right there could be one of them.
It could be.
No regrets, man, right?
Pressing in line. You're already there. Do it.
I have commitments,
So
I know. I don't want to let other people down.
I understand that.
It's important.
What else we got?
I'm trying to find who's the dickweed that cut me off.
I thought it was Dick.
Hey, Bradley and Travis, I'll ask you this question. Were you guys shocked that a big bait played in the wind?
What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Freaking you out?
I'm thinking I'm an
I want to talk to him because
He ain't believing it.
I don't believe it was a glide. I think he's throwing a swim bait.
Yeah, I think it's a mag draft.
I do too. I spent the entire day around him the day one. Like I was there, like he and I back and forth. Now, when I'm doing Oklahoma shit and I've got a flipping stick in my hand and he's doing all the fancy stuff that he does. Dude, I can't even relate to really truthfully what I dump my boat every single day. I only practiced there. I didn't even see anything else. All I saw was there. And so, I'm dumping my boat right next to that every single day. And I can't even, I didn't even make a cast at it. Like, what's the point? Like, there's a boat there every time I unload and upload.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And they've all got fairy wands in their hands and light line. And Brian Schmidt told me, he said, "Dude, I got a buddy that catches giants."
No, how'd he say it?
He said, "Dude, I got a buddy that catches giants up there." But I wouldn't mess with it because it's like he breaks them off. I'm like, "How?" And he's like, "Man, it's all light line." And
you got him down. I know, Schmitty. That's a great imitation.
He said, "Man, it's all light line," and he breaks a bunch of them off. Man, just go figure it out, in that 2 mile deal, and you can play, bro. And but then Polnick comes up there. But one thing I think, and I don't know. I mean, like I said, I want to talk to him. I really do.
Sure.
I felt like because he only practiced one day. That's how much I was there. I know he practiced one day. He won one day. He came up there and whooped all our asses.
That's so crazy.
It's good, man. I mean, that shows you that this sport's not luck. I mean, I appreciate that part of it. But he I think that he saw the light. Upshaw was telling me, because Upshaw's fished 2 or 3 of those northerns, centrals, easterns, whatever Bass's geography is that's correct. On the James, Andrew's fished, and Andrew told me that Polnick had fished those as well. So he's been there. And what I told Andrew was I said, with one day of practice, as locked in as he was, as committed as he was, I said, dude, he saw that window of hope some other time. Like, that ain't something somebody tells you. That is like, you caught one, you got a bite, you lost it. Something gave you.
Sure.
I make this cast on this spot with this type of technique, I might get them to roll. And he did. And that's what I feel like happened. But
yeah.
I just want to let everybody know that tomorrow night, 7:00 Eastern, Bass University Live, Brad Holman in studio with the Dean P. Klusick. We should be getting Brandon Polnick.
And I will ask the question.
And he's going to ask that question.
I will.
Wow.
During the
Impressive.
show, Brandon's out practicing.
So, certain times of the year, that race to the Chick Dam is the winning boat.
Polnick was boat number 2 on day 1.
He never went there.
Yeah.
Got damn spot. That's why I think he was running all around, because I kept seeing him go and he would come back. And I'd see him go and he'd come back. I don't think
he's waiting.
I think boat number 1 got it in front of him.
Yeah.
Polnick was next to me on day 1 for a little bit as well in the afternoon. So he was running around.
Yeah.
Very interesting that
got it on day 2 and then obviously got it on day 3.
Yeah.
Huh.
Very interesting.
Basically, ghost style ale and it's brewed with agave and aged in barrels. That's an 11%er.
Hold on, man. I was just talking about swim baiting up at the dam, and all of a sudden you were talking about agave. What happened?
Well,
BTC
BTC
agave.
Look at all the symbolisms in that bottle you just held up, bro. Blows my mind.
Don't do it. We're good. We're doing good, Trav. We'll get to that shit later. We're ready.
How did that happen?
All those symbols.
BTC just poured me a beer. This is no lie. I recorded part of it while we were talking. He's got a pretzel jar. He took all of the pretzels out of the jar. Okay? This is to pick a beer. Poured the beer over ice, which I've never had before. But before he poured it over ice, he took all the pretzels out of the jar and poured the salt that was left into a plate. And then he wet the rim with a cold bourbon, frozen. He wet the rim with a bourbon. He dipped the glass in the salt resin left from the pretzels, and then he poured the beer into the glass. So it's definitely good.
So it's a Founder's Masagave, and pouring a beer over ice is ridiculous, but
really,
it turns into a margarita. That's an 11, and you can't taste the alcohol. That's 11%.
Wow.
The hotel 5 blocks away later tonight.
Dang. All right. That's what I'm saying.
You think? Can we get him in here?
Roland.
He's
probably drinking his whiskey.
No, it's
Captain
Coke. Morgan and Diet Coke,
and he's probably watching TV.
That's what I'm going to say.
Farting. Agreed.
He told a story. We'll share it because it's going to come out on maybe a video. I don't know. He told us about his best fart ever.
He did.
He was rolling with his crew, the boys, rolling down the highway, and he let one out. And I guess the guy driving heard it. So the guy cracked the window just as a preventative measure. And he goes, boy, this is a bad one. The guy got, the direct hit. Because it was sucking the wind tunnel, like when somebody smokes a cigarette, they crack that window. It's coming to you. So he pulled it all into his nasal cavity. The guy started gagging. Man, they pulled over, and both dudes in the car with him threw up on the side of the road. That's his best fart ever.
Oh, that's a fart of mass destruction right there.
It is, man.
Wow,
oh, yeah.
Farting, everybody.
Threw up, stopped it. And he said the next time he farted, he said those guys locked up the brakes at 75, pulled it to the side, and got out of the car. They were not going through that again.
And he goes, it was nothing.
It was nothing, he said. Smelled like a rose.
Rowan Martin.
He had some stories.
Man, that dude was pretty
awesome.
Cool.
He was awesome. And he fished hard. He did not want to go to dinner.
Yeah, dude did not want to quit.
And then Jimmy stayed out after we did. After
I
Will
asked
was
him
firing at people to get out. He said, don't hurt my bass. Get out. Let's go now.
I asked him if he wanted a seat, midday. I'm like, Roland, you want a seat up here? He's like, no, I'm good. And he just kept on.
And then he said, fine, just stay in the back of the boat. We got you.
The guy's a machine.
He is a machine. He fished hard all day. He was into it, man. 7 ways to fish. And I kept coming up with stuff. He goes, because, Tiny Child rig, Nico rig. He was like, what is that? And we just kept inventing stuff.
He also asked me what the 360 was on my boat.
Right.
So, he's been out of the game a little bit.
Anyway, he was a pleasure.
Uncle Jed.
I did not do the Uncle Jed.
Oh, man.
That's for tomorrow.
That dude can.
Have you guys heard of the Uncle Jed rig?
We're about to.
Yeah, man. It's Ned's Uncle Jed. It's just a wacky Ned, man, and it works
with the Ned hook.
Here's
what I was impressed about watching Roland and fishing with him today. That was encouraging, So he's 81.
Yeah,
and you could just tell. He loved setting the hook and catching a fish. Like it was not old from the start of that morning.
Oh, yeah.
That first cast to him. Because he lost the first 3. We did that 60 fish challenge.
That's right.
And within the first 30 seconds, he lost 4 or 5 pounders.
Yeah.
My God.
And then his lines break in, and he's bent the hooks out or something.
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
gave him a finesse room,
this
man.
fucking line. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with this shit. And he's in there, and I'm retying for him now because we're on a time.
That's
you
what
know,
he
I'm like,
does. I mean, he's like always needs somebody tie on. This is what Scott's telling me. And he's like, he's still throwing 25 pounds this line with everybody.
right?
Oh yeah.
Like he's still big time in it. Here was the thing I was going to ask y'all. Roland is 82, right?
81.
81.
82.
The man is flat killing it. And I mean killing it on YouTube. And BTC didn't know that. Like I pointed it out to him tonight. And I was like, hey, bro. I mean, like he was at 100,000, and I said, I haven't looked in months. I said, I'm guaranteeing you the number's going to be stupid. We looked tonight, it is north of 180,000 subscribers.
We had him on Ike Live in December. He was at 80. And then after Ike Live, he's at 180. So
180.
You figure it out.
I mean, for an 81-year-old man, and people say that YouTube is for young people, blah, 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 blah. Dude, that guy's killing it.
He is, man. He publishes 3 videos a week. 6 p.m. He launches them. He's got his system down, and he is just getting it done.
You know, I've never
because of the techniques, because he's always teaching techniques.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I've taught
he does a lot of stuff that's not shown anymore, like the old techniques.
But it's very basic and thorough. You know, I've talked to him before. I've hung out with him at seminars and stuff, but never fished with him, and never really. I was just blown away, like how nice of a guy he was.
Really is.
How he was really like, you know how some people just brag, or like he has the credentials to just be like, hey, this is me. Like he told us funny fucking stories
all day,
but then asked a lot of questions about us, and just taught us fishing, and just like it was freaking like he made us like I felt like I fished with him forever. Like he could be that dude up there, right? He was
super
so
comfortable, man.
Yeah, just a comfortable dude to fish with.
Very much so, man. And fished hard.
I think he wants to fish with us again tomorrow.
It seems
he
like
kind of hinted. He goes, "So what are you guys doing tomorrow?" He goes, "We're like, well, we're fishing here." He's like, "Oh, well."
We said Will's in charge.
I go, "Well, it's up to Will. We would like to go with Jimmy for a little bit tomorrow too, because I think that would be a cool experience."
That would be a fun experience, man. No doubt about it. We ran into Jimmy Houston. Travis took me down to a place, Piera Ranch in Alabama. Yeah. And Jimmy Houston just happened to be fishing there at the same time. And so we went down, said hello, because we were putting it in a pond he was coming out of.
Yeah.
And we got to hang out a little bit. And, you know, Jimmy fished with a buddy of mine, Billy Kramer, who's a guide on the Potomac. He was a guide for years. And they shot some shows up on the Susquehanna River. And so, you know, Jimmy remembered Billy, and he did his daily devotion, and we talked about his YouTube channel blowing up and how he was getting it going. So that's, I mean, 2 guys, not in the prime of their career, but just absolutely killing it in a new dimension.
Hey, what bait was Jimmy throwing all day every time we saw him?
Guess what? Okay, that's a quiz for everybody watching. What bait did Jimmy have in his hand most of the day when we looked over to watch what he was doing?
Wait. We're talking about on the St. Lawrence today?
No, right now. Today.
What bait was he throwing on the St. Lawrence today?
For the majority of the time, we would look over and he had it in his hand.
Okay, I got an answer.
Yeah.
All right. Don't say it, Bradley. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if we'll look at the comment section. What are we talking about? All right, BTC, you go first.
But
I think Bradley's got it. Place your bets. He can't stop showing it. No, it was not plastic. And
Stop showing it.
He can't stop showing that thing. That wild thing.
That's a woolly beaver.
All right, what you got, Bradley?
I don't know.
Seriously,
No.
something like if I'd been single for a long time, I wouldn't want to be caught in a bedroom by myself with. Like,
just full of these.
Well, I'll say this, man. The comment section, everybody's been nailing, man. Spinnerbait.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You got it right, man. He loves that spinnerbait bite. Can't get enough of it.
Crazy.
So we're at the back of this cut, right? And Travis and I filmed a really good swim jig video the first time I ever came up. And,
Oh yeah, here's a sad story.
it was incredible. So Travis is like, and Roland's running the boat. Now we're drifting. There's a lot of milfoil that's just started to show up. There's a pad edge. So, you've got shoreline. It's kind of like a marsh bank, if you will, with some Phragmite grass. So it's setting up like, it's about to go off. And Travis like, where the confluence of these two creeks come together. And I'm like, it's about to go down. And so far, everybody's caught a pickerel. We ain't caught one bass. Northern pike. Sorry. Not a chain pickerel, northern pike. So we're back there. And we could see Jimmy and Will creeping on us. They're about 50 yards behind us. So Travis goes, Roland, pull down right here. So we're making our cast, and I'm throwing to the point where I caught a 6 last year. Nada. We got nothing going. And so I'm like, Travis, take the front of the boat, man. We're about to get stormed by the pirates. All of a sudden, both boats blow by us, and Will goes, hey, if they ain't over here, they're right here. And Travis is going, we're about to get blown up, man. And so those boys jumped us. They whole jumped us and went to pole wagging them, man.
And that's where they freaking were.
And that's
dude.
where they were bedding.
30 yards further.
30 yards.
And
away.
I'm like, I ain't fishing around this fucking trolling motor, fucking kicking up mud bullshit.
Were you deferring to Roland? Because I kept telling you, get on
I
the
told
front.
Roland,
Get
I
on
said,
the front.
no, I told
Get
Roland
on
we're
the
getting
front.
out of here. I got better spots than deal with these people.
Apparently not, because Will hooked up with a friggin' 8.
Yeah.
We went into the first ditch.
8-pounder on a bed back there, dude.
Yeah, man. Crazy, man.
Who hole jumped you?
Will and Jimmy
Houston. We were first in. We got pole jump like a pirate brigade just floated right past us, man. They split us and just went in, man, and just like destroyed them.
I got no problem.
They screamed out, surround the wagons.
Yep. So Travis just burnt the whole flat, man. He did a donut and just went out, man. Just pissed off like Travis does. Freaking Illuminati guys, man. I've had it. Did you see that symbol on his boat? It's everywhere. The signs are everywhere. Smoking a spirit chat. I'm pissed off.
Travis got so pissed he took off his mason ring and threw it in the river.
Shit.
This shit don't work.
All right, listen, we got to check into a hotel yet tonight.
Oh, you guys
Oh yeah, that.
Not
that,
yet.
that. I need a good night's sleep because I'm about to
We got to
fall
get
out.
up early.
What am I running on?
I want to check into a hotel tonight because I'm here for a couple nights, but it's getting kind of late and
Sleep in Brian's garage.
right? Like we're leaned up against his boat
I would.
and it's awful soft and the front deck looks
Hey, so what
long enough. I think I'm going to sleep.
time are you guys heading up here?
Man, that would be an amazing post. Bradley Hallman sleeping in the Ike Live boat with provisions that abound.
Bradley,
There are beverages, there's nourishment, there's always a leftover Stromboli in a box in his garage, in his studio right there.
Brad and a tub of regatta cheese.
And by the way,
Hey, Bradley, are you coming up with him?
Bradley.
I have not been invited by BTC and Ike. They both got a little excited with Roland and Jimmy, and Hallman's name was definitely left off that list.
Listen, Hallman, even in my head right now, all I am worried about is Heather. That's what I got to deal with. So you bait your own hook, homie. I got to deal with her.
Nice.
Well, maybe Ike will be driving up himself.
True that.
That's
Volunteer to drive up.
Oh, you could be the driver, Bradley. If BTC's out,
There you go.
you're in.
yes. You could be Brad TC.
Brad.
TC.
You can still be BTC, but it's Brad.
BTC to the hall. Let's go. Rolling.
Yeah. Yo.
Go throwing that shit. Interviewing Ike.
It could happen.
Yeah. It could do it. You got to shave though, Bradley.
I ain't shaving.
Travis,
Good stuff.
Yes.
you eat the snakeheads yet?
Yeah.
And
Delicious.
Oh my God.
where do they rank with the how they stack against the walleye?
Oh. Different flavor. Snakehead's a little more
Meaty.
sweet.
Ooh.
Really?
Yes.
How do they stack up against the Stromboli and what else do we have?
Listen, if you like fish, I like to cook.
Calzone.
I like to cut. So I'll cut this. I'll fillet a stripe or a snakehead, and then I'm going to cut them in nice chunks, about an inch long. And then basically I get a nice hot pan with butter, grass-fed butter.
Grass-fed.
I melt it,
Not free butter.
and then I put the snakehead in, and I just cook it till it turns nice, white, and flaky. And then I like some nice organic, tartar sauce.
Travis, you sound like you're cooking
Organic
crap.
tartar sauce?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you make tartar sauce organic?
All right.
There's a lot.
Organic pickles? There's chemicals
Just
in tartar
listen.
sauce?
Yeah.
Wild
Explain.
tartar sauce.
Here's an interesting conversation for the viewers that I was wondering, because the first time I came to Potomac, and then even before that, I was reading in articles, right? So fishing magazines and different things have articles about the invasion of the snakehead, right? And then I come to the Potomac years ago, and I catch a couple on a frog, and I'm like, man, that's a really cool looking fish. And I get in, I catch a couple, and throw them back, and people are like, oh man, those things are the best eating in the world, right? So like that's the people.
Right.
This is years ago. They said, one guy says, man, you could have sold them. Like they'll buy them for $50 a fish.
You get traded for an egg roll for sure.
They sell them.
No, that's the truth. My buddy used to do that.
Okay, so
at the Asian restaurant.
Is like,
Trade a snakehead for an egg roll?
No, they totally will give you free Chinese food if you bring them snakehead.
Shut up.
You're not supposed to do that, but yes, they do it.
fact. So
egg rolls for everyone.
The state in the article was reading about what a nuisance and they're the illegal alien, right? They're not supposed to be in here.
Build a wall.
So selling them on a market to the DC area, the DC metro area, because they're selling them in high-end restaurants. And so then I did a guide trip. I actually went to Potomac yesterday, guys. Y'all probably know that. But I did a guide trip.
No. What?
Very successful for a guide trip for me for 2,000 miles away from home. But the Potomac
That's
is Potomac.
extraordinary.
Phenomenal fishery. Yes, I did. I made up for it today and didn't catch crap. Oh. But the guy with me is from Virginia, and he told me, I said, man, like we should go catch some snakeheads and sell them. He goes, you can't do that anymore. I go, what do you mean? He goes, no, it's illegal. Well, how the hell is it illegal to sell an illegal fish? Like, I don't understand.
Right?
Be here. So they found out people were making money on them, and now they don't want you to sell them, but yet they want them out of the river. None of this makes
any sense.
Political sense.
Don't do it, BTC. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy, man.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. But hey, before I forget, Jason Dayette, little shout out. $4.99 donated. This is for you, BTC. He donated $4.99 for a flower fund for your wife.
Oh, that's nice.
So Travis owes you $5 minus the commission that he has to pay for the PayPal.
Yeah. Listen,
you'll never see that money, by the way.
just head on over to BTC's house, guys, tonight. Knock on the door.
Let me tell y'all who really owes BTC's wife some flowers. It sounds like it's Ike and Nelly. Is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
How about
Agreed.
it? Hold on.
Yeah.
Call up
Agreed.
Ike and tell him to mail BTC's wife some flowers.
That's right.
I think that's probably,
That's it.
I get it.
He gets it.
In a bucket of cash, he is the producer extraordinaire. A bouquet of roses and a bucket of cash. Just dump it.
That place. Jack with it. Fucking 10.
And 12 brand new goddamn Veritas rods with Ike and Ellie purple freaking reels on it. I want brand new shit 2021 for you right now. I've had it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude. He shows up throwing that G crack, half a spool fucking line, all like Roland Martin.
You'd be surprised. It's a new year.
All right.
Stepping up his game.
Yeah, I mean, but
And we haven't even fished.
I want all
tournaments
free
together.
shit that comes in the channel to go to you and Rizzo. Everything.
oh, see, we're about out, dude. Make sure you get that.
What are they doing?
Oh, 10 cup 10 year.
We're 10 cupping it.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
You know that one when you go from like that's where we're at.
Oh fuck!
Oh my god! Oh what?
That one.
You finished that whole bottle?
No way.
No.
Yes, way.
Jesus
over.
Christ!
Wow. Oh.
Yeah, they're definitely sleeping together tonight.
No, he's got a new Weimaraner.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
in the Weimaraner, the 4-month-old in the
Axel.
I love that dog. I love that dog.
I'm a Weimer fan, man.
I'm gonna go get him. Hold on, I'm gonna
That
get him.
German short hairs. You know that.
Anybody monitor comments on fucking YouTube?
Yeah, there's been a lot actually. I thought you guys could see it.
Yeah.
Now we can see it
Oh, shit.
for the show.
Oh, you can see it?
Yeah, well, kind of. Well, he's right. We were too old to read, both of us. If I'll go get his glasses, which he won't put on, I could probably read it with his glasses. But I tried to catch him like 20 times tonight on camera and glasses. This sonbuck is not to be caught in glasses. Not going to be happening.
What you talking about?
Well, Sean Lai says he wants to buy a bunch of snakeheads or something about trading for egg rolls. He's in. John goes, I love Chinese food. My boat hooks up. I want to go up to St. Lawrence instead of the gay Chesapeake. And then we got, where's Alex? Oh, yeah. I don't know, BTCE, if Alex told you this or not, but
He did.
basically gave me no written notice, no verbal, no email, no nothing. He said, I can't be on the show for the next 2 weeks because I'm going on the honeymoon. And he's like, and it was in the text. Didn't even have the courtesy to call me.
You need to give that boy a raise.
It's Travis's unpaid intern.
Travis's unpaid intern.
Yeah.
Okay.
I give him baits and shit once.
Once. He said it, Freudian slip once.
What? Hey, he's an intern. I get it.
That's right. Still. The Northern Opens, fishing with Roland Martin. I mean, these are 2 important weeks. He really needed to be here for the show.
Snakeheads.
Snakeheads. Maybe this show will be the second time somebody passes out on the show.
And you got
No?
strong hombres for that to happen. I can promise.
I was close.
No, actually, you did pass out. I was thinking when Mikey Balls passed out, but you're right, BTC. You did pass out on the show.
3 hours, dude. Wasn't it? No?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was to the point where we had to take you off the screen because we could basically look up your nostril as your phone laid on your chest.
I remember that. I thought we were off the air.
You were eating pizza or something in your living room, and you just got quieter and quieter. Well, we started bitching about something, and next thing we know, we kind of ask you a question, we get no response, and your phone's shoved up against your nostrils, and we're like, well, guys, I guess BTC's done for the night.
He's out.
We're getting close to that point.
Peaked and tired.
Did I even slept?
Now would be a good time to ask your wife, go in the bedroom, be like, hey, babe, I got this brilliant idea.
Yeah,
No.
so before we close this out,
Yeah,
I need some.
Okay.
And guys, give me something. Like,
Yeah, how do you break it to the wife?
yeah, and I don't want to hear like, oh yeah, it's a legend. I just have to, honey. No, give me some.
No.
Shit, dude.
Honestly, I think if you go down to
Her,
you
not
know,
and you, like we get it, but they don't.
Honey, the last time I
flowers,
went fishing with Ike,
flowers.
I got to ride around in a boat for 3 days and not drop a line anywhere. This time, I actually get to go catch some of the best smallmouth in the country. I need a break, so I'd like to go. What can I do for you special when I come back?
I like the that I do for special when I come back. Not the smallmouth of a lifetime, but I do like the what can I do?
All right.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
You know, just say, like, look, man, you know, you put a lot of hours in at work. You put a lot of hours in at the house.
Yeah.
Put a lot of hours in at the show.
We really appreciate
this is a
it.
chance for you to get a quick break. Now, does she not want to hear that? I don't know your wife well.
Oh,
enough to
no.
go.
You don't tell her you know.
Okay,
That's not how you do it.
Okay, go ahead. Smallmouth Crush. Let's hear
You
your
go, honey, I really appreciate everything you do around here. You know, we got these new dogs.
Is she watching, by the way?
No.
Okay, thank God.
The Wattweilers or whatever they're called.
The Wolfies need a break.
Know, really appreciate you taking care of them. And
I don't think that's some bullshit you're trying to sell.
I'm just saying, I mean,
she's from
whatever
New
she
Jersey.
does, if she
She's gonna
cooks you
go, "That's
breakfast,
bullshit."
say, I really appreciate you cooking me breakfast every morning.
I don't think she cooks him breakfast. I
I
think that
don't
motherfucker
know.
up at 6:30 in the morning frying a freaking egg. He posted on his story. Do you even know him? You cook your own shit, right? 9 times out of 10 in the morning.
What's so funny over there?
Tin cup whiskey's funny, motherfucker. When you take a bottle of tin cup, everything gets funny.
My fucking favorite thing in the world is Travis getting mad at shit. 20 years. Oh my God. I fucking love it.
What did they say? 20 years what?
Oh my God, that was so good. I love it.
What y'all say? You gotta let us in, man. Let me in. Let me in.
Oh, that was so good. Wait, what?
Oh, Brian's crying. He got tears in his eyes.
Because you don't get it. They want to know they're appreciated for some of the dumbest things you can imagine, but that's what they want. And so you have to play the game and you have to give it to them.
You're a genius. That's incredible advice. What the fuck?
Yeah, because it blew my mind that something so fucking stupid can be that important to somebody.
How? Interesting. How's your relationship, Travis?
I now appreciate.
and you're doling out the advice?
I appreciate now.
Oh, you do appreciate it. It
Absolutely.
sounds like you think it's dumb as fuck, and it would
It
not
is.
be
Oh, you
sincere.
swept the floors? Great.
I do that 10 times a day. That ain't no big fucking deal, honey, is what you're really saying. Does your wife tune into any of these shows? Holy fucking shit. You're done. You're cooked, bitch. You are fucked. You're sleeping in the garage. You might as well just stay up in New York.
I love it.
She watches the show. Whew.
By the way,
Okay. Well, there's that. Great advice, BTC. So after all the sage advice that you've just heard over the last 10 minutes, what in the hell are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because you got about 24 hours to cook up some crazy story.
Fuck, dude. You just stressed me the hell out, dude.
All right. Tell us about your wife a little bit. Can she sniff out bullshit when you're feeding her some line? She seems savvy. Okay. So she's not getting that. Does she care about you and that you need a break? Look, man, I talk to you all the time. You're fucking stressing, man, constantly. 40 fucking bidge. You're like, you don't have the work. I mean, right?
Yes.
You work 24 fucking 7. You need a break. That's all there is to it.
Did you see Pulp Fiction?
I did.
Okay.
About 100 times.
All right. Do you remember the scene where they had to...
The Bonnie situation?
Yes. They had to call the wolf in.
Yeah, the wolf. You calling in the wolf?
They called in the wolf. But why did they call in the wolf? Because she was coming home?
Yeah.
That's her.
Oh, man.
Think about it.
And you got a dead body in your car.
And I got a dead body. And she is... That's not used.
Well, there's 3 people in this room. None of them who are called Mr. Wolf. All right. Let's think this through. This is the Bonnie situation with BTC, man. 24 hours. That's what they called it. The Bonnie situation, man.
It was, yeah. Bonnie.
It's explosive. They used the word explosive.
It was.
It was. This is real life, though. This ain't no fucking movie.
Man, I didn't want to deal with this till tomorrow.
But let me ask you a question, man. Does she care about your stress level?
This is probably not.
I mean, okay.
Here's how it's gonna go down.
I didn't want to get too personal, man.
Probably not.
Have you been pressing the boundaries lately of the away from home situation?
No.
No.
I mean, how when's the last time you had a real vacation for BTC outside of the relationship?
Monday, a work day, and he was with me and Pete. So I mean,
Yeah, so I fished Friday and I fished Monday, but I worked Saturday and Sunday.
Is that taken away from her time?
Oh, that's family time. That's family time.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
All right, how's the honey-do list at home?
We're pretty solid.
All right, is there something?
No projects you got to do?
Yeah, is there
Could
something?
you do a project tomorrow?
No, I got 3 projects.
All right, no, time out. I want to start a GoFundMe for Brian right now on the show. If you guys care about BTC, if you've ever watched an Ike Live, if you've ever watched a Bass University and the incredible guests that he gets on, this guy puts his heart and soul into architecting these shows. You don't know what he does. He delivers the best one-liners in the business. If you care about him right now, I want to see, all right, let's do a GoFundMe. BTC, what thing could you bring to the house that she would just be blown away by and say, man, that's extraordinary?
Shit, dude.
Is there something on her wish list, want list that's just out? And I'll start the donations off with $250 tonight to BDC. BDC, I'm starting the GoFundMe with $250. I want people to join in. Travis, can you spin up a GoFundMe for BTC?
Yeah, but just don't send it to my PayPal or any of that bullshit.
Don't send any money.
Send it directly to
BTC.
You got a BTC.com.
Yeah.
What is it? Put it up on the screen. Type it in the comments.
Yeah, let's see what kind of.
What's your PayPal?
Let's see what we can get your wife a gift or something.
That's what I'm saying. Is there something you could deliver to the house that she's been wanting that maybe, you didn't want to spring for recently,
or
right?
just some flowers, man.
Flowers.
Big ass thing of flowers.
Women love flowers and chocolate. Is this helping or hurting?
I'm not. It's
You cut out
decisions right now, and I'm just trying to just pick.
How many digits? Is it 5 digits?
5 digits what?
No, is it 4 digits, this thing?
What, the thing that would make your wife happy?
Yeah, the thing.
You're happy, dude. Do you know what would make your wife happy? You probably do. Travis, I know you don't.
I don't.
I do. I do.
Well, yeah, if I quit fishing and spend time with my family.
More family time. Bradley, what makes your wife happy if you're married? Sorry, I don't know that.
His wife's happy as shit, dude. She called today. He answered the phone. She was like, "Oh, hey, honey." No, she even had like a way better, like Sweetie, Honey, Snooky Ookums kind of name for him. Really? I forget. Yeah, it was awesome.
Then you know what you guys did wrong. Then you didn't marry a Southern girl.
No, dude, she was happy to talk to him.
Bradley, am I right?
We don't. Oklahoma's not Southern. We're on our own. We're out there. We were
You're
all Southern to us.
That's more Midwest.
Yeah. Well,
no.
I don't know. Texas,
Central.
We weren't involved in any of the. Oklahoma was all Indian. We're not Southern. There's not a Southern history there. There was no Civil War in Oklahoma. It was.
All right, fair enough.
All
What
right.
would you call it? I mean,
which was
Central.
They were married 23 years, and she called him up, and she had that enthusiasm like they were dating, and that came right through the phone, and it was awesome.
It's because she hadn't talked to me in like 3 days.
Trust me, my
3
wife.
days? You can get away with that?
So absence makes the heart grow fonder.
How do you not talk to your wife for 3
But
days?
I mean, like
No, it's a good deal. You got.
I ain't trying to be tough guy. I mean, no, I'm good to her.
He does have a good thing.
I try to be. I mean, I'm good to her.
Can you imagine not having to check in, just keep fishing, work on your tackle, and go to bed?
Dude, 23 years. What's up? I mean, it is what it is. It's work. She knows what we're doing. Dude, I brought her with me. She knows.
She
knows.
called like 5 times today.
That's not true.
3.
That's not true. She called 2. She called once at 1. I hadn't talked to her in 2 days.
Well, it's
and then she
2
called
plus
tonight.
I exaggerate.
I just laughed like he had a question.
We do.
Right, and
So
today. Also, she called 5 times. No,
nah, dude, you got a great thing going on. You really do. So
I don't know about that, but
no, you also
you do too. I mean, you've been married for 20-something years.
20 years.
Well, then what are you worried about?
What do you mean? What am I worried about?
Tell her like it is. Listen, lady, I'm heading up north. I'm doing a little fishing. I'll be back in 2 days.
The only problem you got is that you didn't tell her ahead of time.
Well, fucking
that,
Ike
hey,
didn't tell me till yesterday that yes.
Okay, in 20 years, she ain't figured out that Ike don't tell you until the day before.
That ain't gonna
She's
help.
got that figured out.
That shit ain't gonna help.
Well, he's your boy, and you're gonna roll, and she knows that.
Motherfucker don't care. It don't make us any easier.
You know, she knows that you got her back just like you got his back.
You go tell her.
Does she not know that?
I give you $20.
I got.
Go wake her up now, Bradley. Walk in that bedroom.
Go from work till 7 o'clock in her outfit. I am not fucking with that woman. She is. She didn't even want to eat dinner. She fed the children, she fed us, and she went to bed. I am not that woman.
And she does that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't fuck with her them 3 days.
I don't blame him.
Maybe by Friday she's cool to hang with. By then I'm like, yeah, fish are biting. Top with a frog. Yo, YouTube got anything for me?
I got
Uh-oh.
I do. I got something for you. Oh no, really?
Oh boy.
You're gonna need another job or two.
I ain't got another job or two.
Diamonds fix all issues.
No, sometimes you got to do a little maintenance on that motor service. And she will be just fine. She needs a little maintenance work.
20 years worth of maintenance ain't no. Diamonds will fix his issue.
Diamonds, huh?
Diamonds. I got a brother-in-law, a jeweler, and a father-in-law, but they're also Masons. You might not want to buy from them.
Uh-oh. Stonemasons, Travis, so don't get all crazy.
I know, I'm fine. All right, listen, Will's eyes are glazed over.
They don't know. They don't know. Dude, yo, Trav.
You should hear this.
Yeah.
So we touched upon that conversation earlier. Touched upon it. And then at about what was it like? You guys went live at 9, so it was like 8:40. I turned my TV on and I hit YouTube because I was going to go to SmallmouthCrush. And that video that I was just kind of dabbling in just popped up.
Right.
30 seconds of that thing playing. He had his father-in-law on the phone who's a Freemason for 65, 75, 100 years.
Okay.
And had a conversation trying to pit me to tell his father-in-law why he's a devil worshiper. I was like,
I love it.
Hell.
I love it. Now you got to stand behind your shit.
He's not the 33rd degree. He doesn't know what they do. Right?
Well, he said
if you say so, Travis.
That's how it is. Only the top Illuminati high-level people, the Bushes, the Rothschilds, the Queen of England.
The Queen of England.
These people are at the 33 degrees.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead, man. Keep talking.
What? Obamas. Ellen DeGeneres. Those are the 33rd degrees.
Hey, listen,
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Tom Brady, for Christ's sakes. He's an Illuminati.
I'll see y'all later, man. It's been awesome.
Get him, man.
Until next time, we'll see you on the Masonic water. I'm going to go Illuminati some Gajo Bates right now.
Yeah. All right, guys. Till next time, we'll see you on the water.
Yo, shout out, Will.
Hopefully, we'll see you out there. Let's go.
Couple